next week as well. Also, this is my first time ever actually saying this, so if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to Merchant for more great content.
I made him do it.
There's an odd amount of power in
How much did he pay you for that?
Nothing.
That's the funniest thing of all. I don't pay him anything to do this. He just makes me content.
It's the love of D&D that keeps me going. So yeah. Last session, the Society of Courage questioned a tied-up Meldon, the Magnificent, about what he was doing and who he was working for. Meldon revealed that he was taking orders from someone known as Milton Proctor, a person that was potentially a previous member of House Demir and seemingly responsible for the capture of Master Ember. Meldon told the party that last he knew, Milton was in the Rubble Belt with Clan Skyer, along with Master Embert. Following that, after deciding they learned all they could, Reg decided to kill Meldon, and then the party took his body first to the Guild Council, and then back to Gilder. In cold blood.
His blood felt warm to me.
So, Gelder advised the party that he would look into learning more about where Clan Sky was located in the Rubble Belt, but in the meantime, he asked that the party would hunt down a creature located in Precinct 6 that was killing off the locals and promised the party a reward for doing so. So, the party agreed and set off, and after questioning the locals and a meat pie seller, learned of a location they believed this creature was based at. After arriving, they made their way through the structure before heading to the basement, where they discovered a large collection of mushrooms and fungus, some containing dried out bodies and bones, before fighting two horrific-looking creatures. They now joined the Society of Courage, moments after finishing off the last of these creatures, still catching their breath. So, what would you like to do? Do you guys need a reminder of what the actual room looks like?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Sure.
So you're in essentially this stone basement, and the corpses of the two horrors are kind of just leaking out whatever blood or bodily fluids they have on the ground. But the corners and edges of the room are just covered in these glowing green fungus and mushrooms. And you can see, looking inside them, there's these dried out bodies and different bones of different humanoids and things like that. There's also a few pieces of furniture and wood, but most of it seems to be either rotted or just turned completely to dust.
Okay.
I'm gonna go give the horrors a bit of a poke with my sword. And have I just have a look at them and have I ever seen anything like this before? Or
maybe I would say a fleeting glance before, never up close, but you've heard people talk about these kind of things before. They generally either live deep underground or in kind of the dark areas of Ravnica. They're not really a common sight, especially on the streets.
I'm gonna book a chiropractor's appointment for having my head stuck against the ceiling for so long.
Yeah, I just wasn't gonna ask about that, to be honest.
Yeah,
Vicari, what was that?
Was that you?
Well,
I assume it was you. You were standing there, like I don't know.
I thought it would help if.
You blocked the door. You stayed outside for the whole fight.
Actually,
I
blocked the angle the whole time. That's definitely why I missed. Had nothing to do with me.
Yep.
Everything's fine. No one's dead.
Well, I suppose fine. Might be useful in bigger open spaces. Just keep that in mind next time, okay?
I'll keep that in mind.
Good.
I did really enjoy being large. It was nice. I believe we're supposed to take a piece of this for a bounty of some sort. I think Gilda said something along those lines.
Yeah, why don't we just cut off like a head or a wing or something? And
yeah, does it have like a head-shaped object? Or is it like weird? Like, it's a horror, right? I don't know.
I was like, why are you so weird all the time?
I'm just asking Craig this.
It does have a head,
Okay.
and it's got the bottom half of the head is made up of these large mouths which have these great big fangs along them, and then it doesn't seem to have a nose or anything nose-shaped, and its eyes seem to be almost two dark pits, and then it has these pointed ears that come off it. They look a lot like bat ears. They're kind of angled and flat along the top.
Well, you can carry that. I'm
yeah,
gonna
Razix, you wanna cut off those head-shaped things?
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, this really seems like his area of expertise.
Yeah, I thought I was being nice saying Razix could carry it.
Why is this my area of expertise?
Because you're the spooky dead guy, and these are some spooky dead things.
I mean, Kosh is right. You're always going on about, life and death and that, and well, you ain't going to get much more death than that, are you?
True. I can't argue with that. Does anyone have a knife? I only carry bludgeoning.
I've got a lot. I'll pull out one of my daggers and hand it to...
Okay. Reg hands you a dagger, Razix.
I'll try to lop off this thing's head. A big enough piece that I can carry around.
Okay,
I will watch.
Is it just one head you're after?
I guess I'll go for both if just for the sake of thoroughness.
Why don't you make I would just say a dexterity check here just to see how fastly you can do this.
Sure. I rolled a 6.
A 6. Okay. So you begin to saw through with because the creature's essentially, well, it's not really a neck. The head is essentially joined straight onto the torso, for lack of a better word, of this creature, and you kind of have to saw through it. It's quite thick and hard until you eventually kind of pierce through the outer skin and get to not the meat, but the kind of gooey flesh, and keep going through and going through and going through, sawing through, and eventually the knife becomes quite blunt, and you're just eventually using your brute force to kind of smash through it until eventually, after about 5 minutes of work, you've managed to cut off a head and it has like a jagged piece at the bottom, and with more of this goo and ichor is just falling out of it, and it's quite horrible.
That was horrible.
Yeah, we should just leave that knife here.
I kept thinking I should start helping at some point, but you just didn't stop.
I pray you are never an executioner.
Well.
Usually the things I cut are usually this tall, the mushrooms. I never cut things this large.
Well,
I try to hand the knife back to Reg.
You can keep that, mate. You can keep the dull, gooey stick.
You know it's bad when Reg judges your weapon quality.
Right.
Yeah.
I have very fine weapons, thank you.
We want to head back to Gelder now.
Yeah, let's us.
Don't touch the mushrooms. Just remember that.
Please don't.
Is there anything shiny looking in the bodies and that at the side?
Why don't you make a investigation check?
Sure. Let me just check my mod for that. I think it's a flat 0. It's +1. I'm proficient. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 14.
14. So, looking around, you can see there's like pieces of clothing that some of these bodies are still wearing. You can guess that you might, if you search their pockets, you might find more stuff in there of value. But to do that, you would have to very carefully kind of angle your arm around mushrooms, and there's always a danger that you could brush against one and set it
Can
off.
I use my rapier to kind of slice the mushrooms at the base very finely?
You want to try? Okay. All right.
Oh god,
No,
So
Not for the shiny.
it's just a mushroom.
Meanwhile, I'm talking in the corner to Razix, like, man, only an idiot would touch these mushrooms. I'm glad we didn't touch them.
Right, you stand far back or as far as you can with the rapier and just start to slice the mushroom. But as soon as you begin to pierce the outer skin of the mushroom, just this big cloud of spores is suddenly released.
Oh bugger!
To your face. I need you to first of all make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Alright, don't worry, I'll be fine. That is okay. It's a 17, but 20 overall.
Okay, so you take 6 points of poison damage, and you manage to resist the poison.
So, yes, right, excellent.
Was that worth it,
Is
really?
the mushroom now out the way?
No, you cut a very small part of it away, and then it just immediately released. You could try again if you want to.
No, I'll try to like just reach in to whatever's in there.
Reg, please be
some
careful.
things just aren't worth it.
Can we stop him?
Reg,
I mean,
Reg.
the theory is you're like 7 feet tall. You can literally just pick him
Wait,
up and
it's a
leave.
mushroom. We'll be fine. If you pick me up, it's going to be a problem.
Reg, would you like a hand with that?
Oh, well, yeah, if you want to stick your hand in instead.
All right, I'll cast Mage Hands,
Mage. Okay.
and I will dig through the pockets using Mage Hands.
Okay, so you conjure up this corporeal hand that floats in the air and move it over towards one of the bodies and rooting through the pockets. Now, I can't remember exactly what Mage Hand does. Can it pick up things? I think it can.
As long as it's less than 10 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. So the hand slips into the pocket and it pulls out a small handful of coins, and I assume you bring it over to yourself to look. Yeah, it's 6 gold in the pocket of one body.
Lovely.
I will give 3 of the gold to Reg.
Tax. Tisk tax man.
I mean, for what it's worth, he wanted to do it. I helped. 3 each.
There we go. That's fair.
Nobody died. Yeah.
Alright, well, guess we go back to Guilders then. I feel like I'm starting to get a horrible rash after that.
Yeah. Just stay away from us in case you're contagious now, please.
I'm gonna wipe my hands on his areas.
No, Reg! Oh, you
All
little...
in the fur, like, oh god.
Well,
You're gonna need a bath.
Reg's hands weren't dirtier than normal. It was just spores. He didn't have any goop on his hands or anything like that from
Yeah, it
it.
wasn't dirty, it was just anthrax. What are you complaining about?
Okay. So just before Razix, the head that you have, how are you carrying it? Are you just going to carry it as normal through the streets?
Yes. It's
Hold it up
nighttime,
like this.
I assume.
Yeah, let's just parade through the streets like conquerors have killed the beast. Your heroes have come.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold it by the hair, I guess, if there is any.
Yeah, there's small tufts of hair along the top of its head that you can just get your enough grip on to carry it that way, I would say. Okay.
We can do it the lame way if you want, Razix. So it's whatever, your call.
Okay. So you guys eventually make your way back out of the basement and back onto the streets in Precinct 6. And actually, we just want to head to Gelders immediately. Nothing else anyone would like to do.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys pass through the streets, and through Precinct 6, the streets are completely devoid of any life. As you know, everyone is kind of stays indoors at this time of night because of the thing that you just killed, essentially. So eventually you make your way out of Precinct 6 and towards Gelders, and you arrive outside the building. I assume you just go in.
Yeah,
So-
I'll just go straight in.
Okay. So you guys make your way inside, and the locked on woman, the receptionist, just seems to be putting on a large coat and blowing out a candle behind the desk. And says, "Oh, you're back. Late one tonight, I guess."
Mhm.
Well, I was just heading home for the evening. If you're looking for Gelder, he's not here at the moment, but he'll be back tomorrow.
Do you happen to have a bowl or something I can put something very large in?
Is it that thing you're carrying?
Yes, it is.
Anyway, we can keep this safely.
Anything you aren't worried about getting blood soaked?
There's a sack you could have. You can put it in a sack, an empty sack.
That would be great.
All right. We stand behind the counter, and you're kind of rustling about before she just hands you a small cotton sack.
I put the heads in the sack.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
My
need to
new
burn that
improvised
one.
weapon.
Just a nasty squelch sound anytime.
All right. So she says to you now, "Well, if that's it, dearies, I'll see you all tomorrow." She just starts
Have a good night.
make her way out.
What a nice lady.
Yeah, she's quite nice. I feel bad. I feel like we've seen her probably about 8 times now. And I don't think any of us have asked her name.
No. None of you know.
Oh, no.
Well, but the
We
thing
are
is
so
now,
bloody
Now it's
rude.
awkward. Now if we
the
ask them,
problem is, yeah, it's gone for too long. We can't.
I might just take a shot in the dark, go for a "You're right, Alice," something like that.
I was really leaning more towards Deborah.
What's my
personally.
chance? Like a 1 in 10? I reckon.
seems like a Sue to me.
That's not bad, actually.
Oh,
I'm
now
just,
you're all messing with my head now. I'm losing confidence.
I mean, we can't ask. It'd be too awkward. Like, now we just have to play it cool.
Yeah. Now we just be like, hey.
You.
Maybe Razix could get her an apology head or something.
Do you think that would work?
Oh, maybe, mate.
Like a nice potted mushroom, we can make it up to her.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
They're
I've
awesome.
had enough of mushrooms for today.
Hmm.
I have seen some beautiful ones in the Undercity before.
I bet you have, mate.
Mushrooms? No, thank you.
I head off to bed.
Okay. All right. Suddenly, Razix makes his way upstairs
Yo.
towards his bed. What would the rest of you like to do? Is anyone would like to do?
No, I'd head up to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sleepy time.
Sure.
Killing horrors is hard work.
Sure. So, you all bed down for the evening. Razix, just out of curiosity, where are you keeping the head in the sack? Just at the.
I was going to place them as close
Put
as
it
I
on
can
someone's
to Kosh's
pillow.
bed
He's
as
spooning
possible.
it.
I was going to try to put it as close to Kosh's bed and as far away from mine as possible.
If I see him do that, I'm gonna have a conversation.
All right. Okay. So, well, Razix went off to bed first, so I would say he's put it essentially at the foot of your bed, Kosh. So you'll see it when you go in. So that's you all make your way off to bed, and Razix, you get into bed, and Kosh, as you come in, you can see that there is this sack that you obviously recognize, and it has kind of a dark stain along the bottom of it at the foot of your bed.
Okay. I'll take it and I'll go put it outside Gelder's office. And I'll just lean it against like the side of the. So like I assume there's like the door, and then there's the door, and then like a little bit of wall. I'm gonna put it next to the door, not literally leaning against the door.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Is there any parchment? Would I have any parchment in my room, or probably some on me?
I would say you'd easily have access to some.
I will write. I'll just do like a dash and then Society of Courage,
Okay.
and then I'll put it onto the bag.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And then I go to bed.
Okay.
Very proud of myself.
Okay. So you all
Good
bed.
idea.
You all bed down and slowly drift off to sleep before coming awake the next day. And as your eyelids all suddenly flutter open and you all gradually come awake, so what would you all like to... And you've all completed a long rest as well, obviously. So, what would you all like to do to start the day?
I will wake up, put my stuffs on. I will head through to the kitchen and start making some coffee.
Sure thing.
Same.
Yeah, I'd just head down to the others as well.
Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to do that is not head to the kitchen?
It's the first thing everyone does.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. You never know. Someone might want to do something else.
Someone
Might want to go out for
I
breakfast.
will yeet myself out of a window and run away.
So I guess I will say when I go to breakfast is the sack still outside Gelder's door?
No.
Speaking.
Got him. All right. I dab. No.
No, please don't.
If you do that, you die instantly.
Yeah.
That's my one rule. Okay. So you all start to have a breakfast, and there's not really a lot of meat or bread in the cupboards this morning. There seems to be a lot of fruit and veg, I see, and a few yogurts have been left.
Oh, what kind of sick joke is this?
Don't know. It looks interesting. I'll pick up
Yeah,
something.
I'm interested in eating interesting.
It's pretty tasty. You should try some.
I refuse.
All right. I'll have yours then.
I mean, there's some stale bread from the day before, Reg, if you want to.
I would. Is there any sort of meat products available?
Not really. No. It was probably eaten all yesterday, I would say.
I'll get some when we go out. Never mind.
Okay. All right. So you all sit down to a hearty breakfast of some fresh fruit and yogurt. Is there anything if you want to do, or
So we took care of Gelder's problem for him, but you think 24 hours is enough for him to have found a lead?
That's always worth an ask.
Well, sure, but what's kind of our backup plan if he doesn't have anything for us yet?
He seems like a resourceful man, though, innit? He works for the council, so I think he's probably got something. If he doesn't, well,
If he doesn't, I'm sure there's some other monsters that need killing.
yeah,
I
quite.
quite like bounty
I
hunting.
mean, I wouldn't exactly balk at the idea of a day off either. So,
That's true.
It'd be nice to kick back and relax.
What does that look like for you, Rezix?
Well, honestly, going and foraging for mushrooms is one of
Oh
my
my
favorite
God.
things to do.
where do you forage for mushrooms around here?
Oh, I have to go back down to the Undercity. It's the easiest place.
I would
Do you
I
imagine
know
have-
a
so.
few down there, so.
Do you have any, non-mushroom related hobbies, interests, clothing, styles?
Well, I am very interested in you a lot. You guys are very interesting to me.
Alright, in that case, question for you. How's simicky looking fella like yourself end up working for the Golgari?
That is an interesting question. I awoke one day and was in what I assumed was the Undercity at that point.
You drink too much or something, I'll do that as well.
Honestly, it may surprise you, but I am young. I don't have a whole lot of memories.
How old are you?
I'm 3.
What?
3?
What?
You matured fast. Holy crap.
3 what? Decades? I mean, you could say millennia, mate, and I'd just believe you.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think I'm only 3 years old from what I can remember.
Oh, so you have
shit.
amnesia.
So, are you, like, created? Like,
I believe
built?
so. But the Simic didn't leave me very long. I was dropped off very quickly.
Oh,
That's
either that or,
peculiar.
yeah, they made you forget things. I've heard about that.
What about, is Talora here?
Yes.
Delora!
Things to say.
Always turtle impression go.
Yeah. Talora, do you know
Yes?
anything about this?
About Razix?
Well, just about like this kind of stuff in general as a Simic.
Well, we generally don't share that information with outsiders.
We're all friends here. Come on, all the cool kids share.
I'm afraid I couldn't do that to the Simic. Just like
Well-
I wouldn't ask any of you to give up your secrets.
I ain't really got that many, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't really have any secrets either. This is very suspicious. Why can't you tell? I don't get you like murder people down there and like you all are just a packed bomb.
Well,
Say
yeah,
nothing.
if you're only 3, Razix, how come you're, like, big?
Your guess is as good as mine. The first thing I remember.
Do
is
you
being
reckon
dropped
you'll
off
get
at
bigger?
the- Not without Vaquero's help, I hope not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting.
So, our best guess is you were built 3 years ago, and they just built you. And I mean, no reason to build a kid, right? When you could build an adult.
Your guess is as good as mine. I really don't have a whole lot of memory from back then.
Anyway, fair enough.
I furiously write all this down in my notebook with a star for later.
Now I feel like I need to watch my language. We're around a 3-year-old. I don't know how I feel about that.
How old even is everyone here? I just figured I was the oldest.
I'm pretty sure you are, yeah.
Oh, that's not a very nice thing to say.
Yeah, that's just rude. For example, maybe I'm the oldest. You don't know.
You cannot be the oldest, Gosh.
Oh, really? And why is that the case?
Why, are you like 10? I have a hard time with humans there.
Yeah, it's always difficult to tell different races because you're not sure. It's like,
That's true, actually. I forgot that all races kind of age a little bit differently. Wait, Reg, how old are you?
I'm, I reckon 30-something.
I'm
If I had
30,
to
Reg. There's no
guess-
way you're 30-something.
Oh, I'm about 30-something. I don't really keep count that much. Or no, but...
All right, fine.
What about you, Vicari? You could tell me you were 60 or 20, and I would believe both.
Why is that?
Because you're a very hard man to read. I have there's no way of telling.
I'm 26.
Wait, you're younger than me. What the heck? You seem like you're just like a... Okay, then.
He don't
He's
look
wise
that
beyond
old,
you.
does he?
He's a lot wiser than you, Kosh.
That is offensive. I take great
Razix is a lot wiser than you, and he's 3.
Wow. It's just everybody bully Kush. They're fine. I see how it is.
I can get behind that, to be honest.
You make it so
Anyway, before we make Kosh cry, should we go see Mr. Gelder?
easy. Yeah, before he sets his flamethrower on us.
Yeah, good idea.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Okay.
All right, I'll get up from the table and start heading up.
I'm gonna take some fruit and shove it in my whatever. It's my carrying capacity thing.
Sure, yeah.
You're gonna take 300 pounds of citrus.
I like it. It tastes nice.
Okay. So you guys eventually make your way up to Gelder's office. Are you just going in or knocking?
I'll knock. We always knock. We're polite.
I think you have barged in once. Anyway, so you knock at the door and you hear Gelder call out, "Hi, is that you lot? Come in."
I will go
We
in.
go in.
Walking in.
You all enter. He says, "Well, seems like you did an alright job of that then yesterday, eh?"
We did.
Yep.
Well,
Got rid of 2 of them.
2 of them.
Yeah.
You only sent
double the
after
reward,
one.
right?
Do we get double then?
Well, you didn't bring 2 heads, did you?
No.
Gelder, we're not exactly lying to you, are we, mate?
Well, it's not my decision either way. I only have 300 gold to award you with. So
All right.
you can take that or not.
I will take it.
Yeah, we won't complain.
So it's divided equally, and look at that. I've divided it into 6 wee sacks for each of you.
Thank you. I will take a wee sack.
Okay.
6 wee sacks.
Okay. So
Wait, how much is that?
300 divided by 6. Come on, Elias.
it's 60.
It's 50. Thank you.
It's 50. Oh my god.
NA
Don't
maths.
worry, Series. We won't judge you here.
The Scottish education system in action.
Oh dear.
I don't like maths.
Okay. So the Rubble Belt. I've
Yes.
made contact with someone out there. Ayla, her name is. She was an old member of Clan Skyer. I've known her for a wee while, and she'll meet with you if you're willing to head out there. But I don't really see many options for you other than going there.
That's fine by us, I think.
Sounds like we're going there then.
Yep.
Right.
Any warnings or things we should take with or not take with, as it might be?
Well, it's not just an overgrown precinct that you're going to. This will be deep into the Rubble Belt. You'll essentially be heading to areas that have been lost from civilization for hundreds of years. It'll be mostly thick forests and plains that you'll be coming to. There won't be any taverns or inns or anything like that for you to sleep in at night. So,
All right.
I'd advise if you don't have it, to at the very least get a bedroll and maybe a tent. If you're looking for a place to pick up stuff like that, there's Otto's Outdoor Emporium that's just down the road.
All
It's
right.
a bring your own drink kind of party, it sounds like.
Essentially. So, what you'll need to do is head south of Precinct 1, out the southernmost gate, I should say, and then follow the path southwest. Follow that for a few hours, and a river will run parallel to the road until it crosses a bridge, and then make camp on the other side of that bridge, and Ayla will meet you there.
All right. Did anyone write that down?
Yeah,
Do you want me to say that again?
No, I completely zoned out. Please say it again.
The elder said, take the southernmost gate out of Precinct 1 and follow the path southwest. A river will run parallel to the path until essentially the path is crossed by the river and a bridge goes over it. Make camp just to the side of the road across the bridge.
All right.
Right.
And make sure to light a fire as well, because if it's dark, she'll need to find you.
All right.
Right.
And what are the odds that somebody else might see that fire and come to us?
I'll answer that one for you, Kosh. Extremely likely.
Well, my follow-up to that was going to be, what does Ayla look like? We're going to need to know, right? How to trust her.
Aye, she's an elf. She's got brown hair. She's got a few tattoos along her arms.
All right, just my type. Got it.
Aye. So you'll be gone for a few days, I imagine. So if you have any business you want to take care of before you leave, I advise you do it.
I could probably
Other than
stock up
that-
on some more health potions.
It's always a good idea.
Well, sounds like we're visiting this Otto's Outdoor Emporium.
Yeah.
I need a
That's-
tent for one, I ain't got one.
I want
Aries, how
to.
you feel about carrying 2 tents? Only well, a tent is probably quite big.
Why do you need a tent? They just put you in a rucksack or something. Sleep.
We can just like roll them up in a blanket at night.
Right, I would like to think I stand somewhere between full tent and rucksack. Thank you very much.
I actually think I have a bedroll. I've never taken it with us anywhere, but I actually should have one. So
I'll go on. It's something to cover us from the elements. Well, yeah, fine. I'll carry your bloody tent.
Excellent. Let's go buy tents. I'll have the heaviest one they have.
I'm going to kick you.
you should save your strength for the tent.
A smart thing Kosha said all day.
That got me. Jesus.
All right, let's go to this.
Any
final questions before you guys head out there?
I will ask. I'll look at Gal and I'll say, right, this is this bit known as a very active part of the rubble belt. If you catch my drift.
It's been left to the Gruul clans essentially for a long time.
Well, shit. If you will forgive my legion speak.
Yes, Razix.
What do you know about Camp Skyer?
Clan Skyer, you mean?
Clan Skyer.
He's only 3.
A while ago, they were one of the most violent and aggressive of the clans. They were typically the ones that would be launching assaults and incursions into the city, but in about the last month or so, it's kind of died down a bit, but they still have a reputation for being quite ferocious and quite large as well.
Are any of them not ferocious? The Gruul, I mean.
No.
Okay.
Do you mean large in numbers or large in stature? Or both?
Both, I'd say.
Probably both, yeah.
And our exact mission is find Milton and kill him.
That seems to be the case. Track him down if you can and find out what's going on.
Just wanted to make sure.
Does the council want him alive? Not really care.
Either bring him in chains or kill him.
Well,
It's fine.
it's not easy, but at least it's simple.
Alright, let's go get some stuff and go find
Right,
people.
where's that shop, by the way?
It's just down the road. You'll see it. Otto's Outdoor Emporium.
Which way?
Just head right out the door.
Alright. Would it be bad if we went left, eh?
Aye, would it be nice?
Is that up the road?
All right, Rage, let's go.
Alright.
Okay. So as you guys are turning to leave, Talora says, "Listen, guys, I've got something I need to do myself before I can join you out there. So I should be with you tomorrow or the day after at least. I'll find a way to reach you. In fact, Reg, do you still have that sending stone?
I do, yes.
Could I have it?
Yeah, why not? I will give her the sending stone.
Okay.
Has to tune it, right?
You gotta test it, you gotta clutch it in your hand, and you gotta think really loud, you gotta think, alright, that seems to be the word that makes it work.
All right. Talora clutches the stone and closes her eyes, but Kosh, you don't receive any message.
Yeah, you have to attune to that just as a heads up, so keep it on you for an hour. You don't really have to do anything.
Try
just-
every minute or so to just alright.
No, not the way that it
and then
works at
it'll
all.
work.
Nope.
I think
Not
it
even
is. I
close.
worked out. Don't worry, Kosh. I think it's just alright, and then eventually it'll get through.
Okay, then.
Just keep it on you, and you should be able to reach me.
Okay.
It only has once a day. It's a very primitive build for now.
Fair
So
enough. Okay. Well, I'll catch up with all of you hopefully soon.
Stay safe. See you again.
Okay. So, you guys make your way back outside and...
Before we head out, Gilda, what's the lady's name downstairs?
You don't know?
What an MVP! Oh my goodness.
Just. We didn't want to ask. We thought it'd be rude because we've been so long.
It's Lillian.
Lillian. We were all wrong. God damn it.
Yeah, it's just so embarrassing that Asarius didn't know it at this point. It's like, whew.
No, I did it when you weren't in earshot, you bastards.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay. So you guys make your way downstairs, and then the Lockstar woman is sitting behind her desk reading a book, and she kind of nods at you all as you all pass.
I'll look at her. I'm like, Lillian, have a lovely day, darling. All right. And I'll keep walking out.
You did not hear that, or you have very good hearing. One of the two.
Okay, she just kind of nods at you all as you pass.
Give her some finger guns. Have a good one, Lillian.
Bye, Lillian.
Bang, bang.
Right. Okay.
Oh, did Gelder
Right.
whisper that to you? Is that confidential? Are you trying
No, I whispered to him
leverage?
like, when you guys left. Just trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure you heard it though. It's fine.
Dimir Azares. I know the name of the woman.
Oh, dear. Two
Chris.
autos.
Okay. Ooh. Right, you guys make your way towards the right and off down the street until after about walking for 5 or so minutes, you can see a sign which has like 2 crossed arrows, and then right underneath it is Otto's Outdoor Emporium.
Seems like we're at the right place.
Yeah, let's go find some
Market.
tents, shall we? Keep Reg away from the big ones, please.
I will go in and beeline the largest tent they have.
Okay. All right. So you guys open the door and push in, and there's you're into this large shop. Then you can see there's a number of counters and worktops and display cabinets showing just a variety of different items that you kind of a little bit unsure exactly what most of them would do. There's various weapons and ammunition for bows and crossbows, bolts, things like that. There's also grappling hooks and bedrolls, and seems to be some sort of waterproof clothing as well as on a few different racks. Along the kind of upper parts of the walls of the store as well, there's various kind of animal heads mounted, a large boar kind of behind the counter towards the back of the room. And then standing behind the counter is a human male. He looks a little bit older. He's got kind of long shoulder-length brown hair that's parted in the middle. And he has a thick drooping mustache. And he's wearing this kind of black waistcoat with a white undershirt underneath. And he says, "Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Otto's Outdoor Emporium. What can I do for you on this fine day?"
You Otto, I'm
I
assuming.
immediately leave.
The one and only, miss.
Looking for some tents, Otto. What have you got?
Well, we got a couple different kinds of tents. How many is your party?
6, eventually.
6. I don't think I've got a tent that could fit all 6 of you.
Oh, we don't want to sleep in the same tent.
Oh,
Not at all.
we want our own tents.
Right. Well, I've got the simple tents. They're just made out of wool. They'll fit about 2 people in them. Maybe just one for you, miss. And he points at you as Ares. And they run about 2 gold each. But then I've got waterproof ones. They're 5 gold. And then there's also some that are both waterproof. And then there's a line of chainmail sewn into it, just in case you get an arrow shot at you in the middle of the night. Might protect you a bit more. Those are 20 gold each.
I'll take one of those.
Me too.
Okay.
As for
Do
I.
we get a discount for buying in bulk?
I don't think so, miss. Not unless you're buying a whole lot of tents. About 100 tents, I'd say. Then maybe it'll just...
No, don't need 100. Never mind.
So where are y'all going? You planning a hunting trip?
Yeah.
Of sorts.
You could
yes.
call it that,
All right. Well, what else do you need?
yeah. Do I see the variations of arrows and stuff?
Yeah. So there's kind of, you can just see there's like large quivers of like there's probably about 15 or so quivers of like 20 arrows. But there's also in several small crates, there's arrows with several different heads.
Ooh, I'll go
Yeah,
and have a
look
look at
kind of
those.
different.
Well,
Okay.
I'll look at Otto and I'm like, yeah, what do these ones do? I'll point at the fancy ones.
All right. Well, we've got a few different kinds there. We've got some fire arrows. So you can see that there's that small little cage on top. Essentially, you have to light it before you fire it. We'll set your target on fire. It's pretty useful. Then we got ones here, and you can see there's one that has like a small little glass vial at the end. You fire that, it'll release a cloud of poison gas when it hits a target.
Bloody hell.
Then I got another one here, and it's got a small little brown package underneath the arrowhead. I mean, like a paper package.
Oh, yes.
That's a smoke arrow. When you fire that, it'll just essentially fill an area with a cloud of smoke. And then, now this one's a little bit of a strange one. This was made for me by an Izzet man. And you can see looking at it, it has this, it's got another simple arrowhead, but then along the shaft of the arrow, there's a small little, it just looks like a small brass tube that has like a wire connecting to the arrowhead. It says, when you fire this, well, it'll leave a streak of lightning in its wake. Now,
Holy shit.
they're a little bit expensive, those ones. They're 25 each. The smoke arrows, 10 gold each. The poison arrows, 25 gold each. And fire arrows, 8 gold each. And Connor, I will send you exactly
Thank
what
you
those
so
are.
much.
I'll put it secret.
No, I actually followed that. I've got it. Alright, I'm gonna look at it and be like, right, well, they all sound lovely. How much for one of all of them?
On all of them, that'll be 68 gold total for one of each.
How about I'll give you 60?
Are you buying a tent as well?
Yes.
Are you
One
buying
of the ones with the armor in it, yeah.
All right. Make a persuasion check.
Alright.
Mhm.
I don't want to get shot by no Gruul while I'm napping. My persuasion is, oh good. It's -2. 11.
11. Afraid not, my friend. 88 gold will be the total if you choose to take a tent as well.
Alright. I'll give him 88 gold.
All right.
Do you have
That
any
was-
potions? Oh, sorry. Kara.
Well, what I was going to say is before I start packing everything up for you lot, what else would you need? So potions?
Sorry, I rolled... No, never mind. I rolled the wrong thing. I rolled with Mr. Nibbles modifier. But doesn't matter.
Mr. Nibbles, you
He's a
savvy
convincing
dog,
dog.
you.
Okay.
Convincing puppy.
So, healing potions?
Health
What kind
potions?
of
Yeah?
healing potions?
What do you got?
I got just quite a few standard ones. They're about 50 gold each, and then 2 of the greater ones. Not a lot in stock, I'm afraid, at the moment.
How much are the greater ones?
They're 150 gold each.
Give me 2 of the regular ones, please.
All right. So he starts to gather stuff. So, anything else the rest of you? What about bedrolls, blankets?
I have
I have a
couple
bed.
of things.
Sure.
So they're hand crossbows here. Do you sell any hand crossbows? I'm looking for a smaller crossbow.
Give me a second. And he just
Okay.
heads off into a small back room. You can hear him moving around for a little bit before he comes back out. And he's got this small one, and he kind of, as he's coming out, he blows a cloud of dust off it, and it's a hand crossbow. And he looks at it and says, "I've had this for a long time. No one's ever bought it, and I don't even know if it works anymore. There's no string left on it, so you're welcome to it. But it you can have it for yourself.
How much?
You can have it for nothing. I'm never going to sell this."
Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? For what I need it for, I don't think I need the string. All right, thank you.
So
That's
essentially,
very kind of you.
what he places in front of you, Kosh, is just this wooden block with like a trigger and then just a curved metal band on top, where you can see that there'll be kind of a fit for a small bolt. But that's really it.
Okay, yeah, that's actually all I need. The string isn't too important. I also want to buy one of the special lightning arrows the Izzet man gave you.
All right.
And then also, I'm looking for like a grappling hook, maybe 30 feet roughly.
All right. Well, I sell the hook itself and the rope separately. So you want the hook and then the rope itself.
Yes.
All right. So the grappling hook is 2 gold, and then the
Okay.
rope is, for the length you need, 1 gold.
Okay. And then you said the Izzet arrow was 28?
25.
Or 25 rather.
So
Sorry, so
28
28 total. Yeah, I'm more than happy to pay that.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and just give him the 28 and take my purchase. And then while we're here, just while everyone else shops, I'll go ahead and fix the actual hook to the top of the rope and store it in my pack.
Okay. Sure.
Craig, what is a mess kit that we have?
A mess kit. That's
Yeah.
just sort of like a little metal plate and some cutlery
Oh, okay.
and like a
Noms.
little tin mug.
Noms, okay.
Yeah.
And rations are noms.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do we need
Well,
bandages or first aid kits or anything? I think we're good, right?
What about a lantern?
Do you have bug spray?
I'm afraid not, miss.
I'm going camping. I need bug spray. Gosh, I'm using your flamethrower. Okay, we're fine.
Just don't use it inside the tent, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a very bad idea inside the tent. Asaria's
Not
just gonna,
inside the tent. Have you seen mosquitoes out there?
This
They're like
label
this
says
freaking
flame
big.
retardant, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. Also, no, I haven't seen the mosquitoes out there. I've never left
Oh boy,
college.
you're in for a time.
Oh, you're in for a lovely time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have blankets or quilts or bandages?
Well, which is it, sir?
All of them, if possible.
Well, I've got blankets. I've got strips of cloth you can have to buy off me, I guess. They could work as a bandage.
You guess.
Well, yeah, I don't boil them or sterilize them or anything like that.
They'd work in a pinch.
Yeah.
I will take one of your chainmail tents and
All
some
right.
cloth and a blanket.
All right. 2 seconds. I'm keeping track of all this. It's a lot.
You're making
Yeah,
a lot of
so
money
I
off
just
of
bought a
us.
tent.
Okay,
I just need a tent.
for you, sir, that'll be 23 gold total then.
Okay, I'll hand him 23 gold.
All right. So, is there anything else?
I think we have everything we need.
All right. Give me
By,
5.
by the way, gang, just a reminder. This guy said tents fit 2 people. We don't probably need 4 tents.
Well, some people don't like to share now.
Oh,
I would
we're
need one
dead.
for myself, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough, sure.
We would need at least 3 if a series cannot fit with another person.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Kosh
I don't even
or
really believe
Razix,
in tents anyway.
either of you, feel free to give me 11 gold and I'll carry the tent, or 10 gold and you'll carry the tent. Is that right? Yeah.
Always a business.
And then, of course, we share the tent.
Yeah, sure, I'm down for that. How much? 11 gold?
For me to carry the tent, yeah.
Yeah, for you to carry, just I don't have to worry about it. I'm down for that. I give you 11 gold.
Sounds good.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
Well,
Now, is there anything else y'all need before I start gathering all this stuff up for you?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. This will be a few minutes, so you can browse the shop or just wait outside and I'll bring it to you in a second.
Does he have any, creatures standing up, posing and stuff?
I would say no, there's not like a stuffed bear or anything like that.
No,
It's
no
just
Termidax birds.
no, it's mostly just these different animal heads that kind of adorn the walls. The one that draws your attention is this large boar that's behind the counter.
Does it look familiar?
I mean, it looks like a boar. It's not. Remember, Reg cut off the tusk of the one you fought at. It has both of its tusks. So,
Is my tusk bigger?
That's what you
there's the
care
question. I would say the one behind the counter has probably got a slightly larger tusk.
What the? I quit. That's it. I quit. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Kosh, what were you about to ask?
I was gonna say, just since we have a couple minutes while he gets the stuff anyway, I'm just gonna look around. Is there anything of interest or anything cool in this place?
Nothing. The main kind of interesting item that you had was the arrows. They're the only sort of magical item, if that's the sort of thing you're looking for.
Not
The
even
rest-
just necessarily magical, just anything cool.
There's things like bear traps essentially, and there's lanterns that you can see and flasks of oil, that sort of thing. There's shovels and picks, and there's just all manner of different weapons as well, like axes and swords and bows and crossbows, things like that.
Excuse me, how much for a flask of oil?
They're a silver each.
Oh, I take 4.
All right, okay.
What kind of contraption are you building?
Oh, it's
All right. I would say enough time passes, and he essentially comes out of his back room with these 2 large wooden crates that he just kind of dumps onto the desk in front of you. He says, "Right, all your tents are in this here." So it was 5 tents total. They're all in there.
Wait,
Or
do we
was it
need that
4?
many?
no 4 tents, right?
4 tents.
Yeah.
All right. And he just pulls one out. He says, "Everything else in this box here to the left. That's got your healing potions, your bedrolls, and blankets." Right.
I assume I just picked my arrows out of the.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
just
Okay.
rummage.
All right, so you guys grab everything that you find it all, put it all together, and so is there anything else?
I
Any
think so.
tips? We've got some people who've never been out before. I've only ever been out with the Legion, but
Well, where are you going?
Rubble Belt.
Any specific part?
Oh, just around.
Into like the less settled areas, a bit. We're heading a little bit into the woods, just on the edge.
Well, if you run into any Gruul, just show them respect, keep your distance, and generally they'll leave you alone unless you're have anything valuable. I'd recommend you maybe don't have any sort of jewels or gold items on display if you carry anything like
Ooh.
that.
So we're
Archery.
leaving Vicario behind, right?
I just discreetly take off my giant chain of
So
money.
if it's shiny, leave it here.
I've got something I might want actually. As Ares, you might want one as well. You got
What?
any sort of cloak I can use to cover up my armor? It's quite obviously of the Legion.
Yeah, sure. What are you looking for? A waterproof cloak or a warm cloak or just kind of a regular one?
Just kind of a regular one. You know,
All right.
Doesn't have to be
look,
fancy.
about a 100 would be nice.
All right. Is that just the two of you, or the rest of y'all want?
Unless anyone
cloaks?
else wants one.
I guess I would ask you, Craig. I have a cloak. How well does it like
I would-
cover? Is it suitable for outdoors?
I would say it's kind of more extravagant than just sort of a regular sort of woolen cloak.
That's
that
fair.
sort of thing you're asking for.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
go ahead and
mind only myself and Azares, you know. Well, Legion and Gruul, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't want to get my cloak dirty, Reg. This is very nice.
Well, that's
this is
also
expensive.
understandable. You have a lovely cloak, gosh. All right.
Thank you, Reg. Okay, yeah, so I'll take one as well.
All right.
How much for those?
They are, well, for the goblin and for the human, it's only five silver each. For yourself, I'm afraid, miss, it's 8 silver. Gotta use a little bit more material.
That's fine. I don't mind.
All right. So he kind of goes off into the back again and returns quickly with 3 dark, kind of brown woolen cloaks. There's nothing special about them. They have a small buckle that you can kind of fix around. They do all have hoods as well.
Perfect. I'll put mine on and sling my bow, like, back onto my back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Next question. Does it actually go over my head or do my horns get in my
Yeah,
way?
there's two convenient.
Yours
slits
is like a
into them.
punter.
Oh, yeah.
You have to pull it
Yeah,
up.
Cool.
No, don't-
I'll get
Don't worry, miss. We designed those with a minotaur in mind.
good man. I like your store. I'll give you 5 stars. Why not?
Well, thanks.
on Yelp.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Well, it's a pleasure. Do come back, and
Nice
I
to
wish you
meet
well on your hunting trip.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We bought so many things.
We did.
Okay.
You are over encumbered.
I have so many toys in my inventory. Oh goodness.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Okay, what time of day is it?
It's still pretty early in the morning.
Yeah.
You guys woke up, had breakfast, spoke together, and then went here. It's probably been about, I don't know, it's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning, I'd say.
Anyone else want to do anything, or do we want to head that way?
I think we want to get going. We're meant
Yeah,
to
let's
meet
get
this Ayla overnight, remember?
Makes sense. All right.
Okay.
Right,
All right.
south.
I have no wish. Reg, you want to lead the way? You seem to be good at these things.
Well, I've never been to this bit before, but all right, I know the city. I'll just start leading us to the southernmost gate.
Okay, sure thing. Give me a second.
I have a curious question while we're walking. Hey, Reg.
Hello.
Mr. Nibbles is quite a big dog.
He's
right?
a big dog, isn't he?
Have you ever ridden him into battle?
I have not, no.
Have you ever thought about it?
Nibbles and I have a very, very mutual understanding of how our relationship works, and I don't think he'd take kindly to it.
Okay.
In an emergency, maybe. He's
But I mean, like,
pretty
if you were
fast.
down, could he like pick you up and carry you?
Oh
He's
yeah, I don't weigh that much. I might have to. Someone might have to take my armor off, but
Just curious.
In the middle of battle.
He's a cool dog.
my armor releases pretty easy in case he gets stuck in anything.
Sure, fair enough.
But in an emergency, I'm sure I could ride him, as you say. I wouldn't do it unless I have to, though, and I think he knows that.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind. This dog just kind of like look up at me like, "Arr."
He's he's pretty calm typically.
He's a good boyo.
Good boy.
All right.
Walking.
So you guys
walk.
travel through the District 10 for about 45 minutes or so until eventually you make your way towards the southernmost gate. And it's kind of this walled off section that's broken up by this large ornate gate. You can see kind of there's people milling around on the streets and moving back and forth. But then the gate itself up on the walls, you can see there's numerous Boros soldiers kind of manning the walls and staring out towards what you would assume to be the rubble belt. And then the gates are open. You can kind of pass freely and guards kind of line it, but it doesn't look like anyone would stop you if you tried to go through.
Yeah, I'll still be leading through, I guess.
Okay. So you guys make your way outside, and eventually you're following this cobblestone path that leads through the trees. And at first it's kind of a gentle and peaceful walk. You know, just feels like walking through a forest almost. And you follow this stone path for a while until eventually it comes to a point where the path becomes a lot more or less maintained, and the woods start to encroach a little bit, and you can begin to see ruins and old houses lining the streets that just look long abandoned, essentially. And so eventually, as you guys kind of progress even further along, you see that a river begins to run parallel alongside the road. And again, you guys are going to follow this for about, I'd say, 3 hours or so. Is there anything you guys want to do whilst you're traveling through? It's essentially a thick forest now, really, I'd say, where you can make out the occasional structure kind of overgrown off to the side of the road, but nothing else.
I would say to Vicari, hey Vicari, if you don't mind me saying, you seem like more of a nice area kind of guy. You ever been out here?
I've not, and in fact, I can slightly understand the Rakdos mindset of having fun. I do think they take it much too far. But the Gruul, why would you want to live in such squalor?
Oh, it's got a certain kind of beauty about it, don't you?
Personally, I think it's quite peaceful out here.
Yeah. There's no
If you ignore the bloodthirsty Gruul clan.
Oh yeah, well, they're not great, but some of them are alright, some of the clans are okay. Others, yeah.
I mean, all I see when I look around is wasted potential. So many shops could be here. So much room for transactions.
Hey, but think about it this way. If everything's a shop, then you won't know what shops are good.
You shop around.
You gotta have some non-shop, ain't you?
I hate shopping. Ugh.
Everyone offers a service. Just changes what it is.
What's
What
your
would your shop?
what's your service, Miguel? I agree, Zary.
What would you do? Why should we come to your shop?
Well, I have been trained as an Orzhov advocist. I am currently, well, right now I'm not. I probably should have informed my tutor what I'm doing. That's fine. Doesn't matter. But I essentially am a contract clerk. I'm not a lawyer yet, but I clerk.
Well, if I ever need anything clerked, I know who to come to.
Of course.
And he just scurries off into the distance.
As this conversation kind of comes to an end, I actually also wanted to say something to Vicaro on a different note, but he's having a heart attack. Mouth to mouth CPR.
I think I've killed Vicaro.
Not another one, Reg. Come on, what is it with these guys?
I don't know why I find getting something clerked so funny. You want to get it clerked?
Oh boy.
Vicaro, you're with us until we clear up the matter the Darrow was overseeing, but Melton's gone. We're on our way to deal with Milton. What's next for you? You sticking around, or?
Well, for what it's worth, a lot of what I was doing with my becoming an advocate was to assist Darrow in becoming a member of a different pillar in the Azorius. So now I technically don't need to continue doing that. That said, in general, I just don't like the Gruul. Their civilization is integral to Ravnica life, and these are the only people who shirk it completely. The Rakdos, they're madmen, but I understand them.
They do have their charms.
I cannot understand the Gruul. And if I'm just letting off some steam from what happened to Daru, seems good to me. So as long as you guys continue to fight back against the uncivilized, might as well stick around, learn a few things.
What happens when we're done, though, and our job isn't based on the Gruul, and maybe we pick up a contract for something else?
Well, it depends entirely on how that contract benefits me. For what it's worth, I'm currently benefiting because I am crushing those who have wronged me. In the future, I may benefit from financial gain, experiential gain. As long as I continue to gain, I'll continue to support. Also, you guys do have the most interesting transactions.
I thought politics. I can respect that line of thinking. It's very logical, very deductive. Very few outside of Izzet are willing to think that way.
I would not exactly call what you people do supremely logical.
You just don't understand it.
You're right, I don't. You literally launched a flamethrower inside.
You know, it takes one to know one. You can't appreciate it. It's fine. You know,
it's fair.
Vicari, you just need to let loose a little bit. You know.
Yeah, no.
Just try the flamethrower. You just put it on and just.
Vicari, I'm perfectly fine with you not letting loose, mate.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with you not doing that as well. That seems a little scary.
You relaxed a little bit. It wouldn't kill anyone.
It literally might.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Last time someone relaxed, they let off a flamethrower in the kitchen, so...
Yeah,
I may have instigated that, I'm sorry.
I mean, look, you guys keep bringing it up, but Talora fixed it. It's like, as long as we have Talora to just fix the wall.
And where is Talora right now?
Well, she's not here, but there's no ceilings to blow up. It's fine.
We're just in a forest. The flamethrower is a much better idea.
Well,
people can't hide if the forest is burnt down.
Oh, in that case.
I don't think it's a good idea. But it's an idea.
By this point, have we reached the bridge?
Well, it's...
Or have we walked straight past it like 20 minutes ago?
Well, it's pretty far in, right? I assume we had like a while still to go.
It's a long journey to get there. So
it's fine, Aseres. We can walk in silence if you'd like.
No, it's fine. I enjoy the banter.
Okay. All right. So I would say after... Well, would you guys stop for a break at all? Around about midday, or would you just keep going?
No, Reg is a harsh taskmaster. Onwards.
I'd probably be happy to go on, but...
Yeah, we're probably just used to marching, right? To the other three that...
Yeah. Well,
we just keep going. Are you guys tired? We look behind us and they're just like... Hey!
No, I can eat with the best of them.
All right, okay. So I would say... Eventually, so there's this river that runs just kind of parallel to the path that you're on, until eventually you see it comes to just kind of a simple wooden bridge that runs across the river, and it's just a curved bridge that goes over this. Essentially, the river's probably about 15 feet wide, and it just goes straight over. If you guys just all want to cross,
yeah, this looks like it.
Okay, so after this point, I would say it's getting into kind of later afternoon. So you guys cross the bridge and nothing bad happens.
Trolls underneath it or anything?
No, nothing like that.
We do not have to pay the trolls.
You must answer a riddle before you can pass.
How far ahead of us can we see? Is it a clearing?
It's so off to the as you cross the bridge. There's essentially a small little clearing off to the left-hand side of the road in the forest. It looks like kind of a fair enough place to camp. And then if you're asking further down the road, there's kind of just this plain muddy track that just leads through the trees, and you can see pretty far down it. I'd say probably about 100 150 feet. I'd say doesn't seem to be anything coming down it.
Cool. Well, this looks like the spot, right?
Yeah, he said to make camp just at the bridge, and we, as weird as it is, we actually do want to be seen. So we probably don't want to go too far into the forest.
No.
Understandable. We got a lot of fire as well. Remember.
Firewood? Or do we just use our little...
I mean, we can just have like somebody can surely get some wood. We can go looking. I mean, we're surrounded by woods. We'll figure it out.
One of us does literally have an axe. We are by trees. So
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go get some firewood. I'm going to dump all my crap and take my axe.
I'll
and
go to
beat up a
Zary's to
tree.
try help carry it.
I'm going to
Okay.
go beat up a tree.
So Reg and Azarius go off to try and gather some firewood. What are the rest of you doing?
I will attempt to put up my and Kosh's tent.
Yeah, I will help.
Hey, Vikaru, I'll give you 10 gold. No, 5 gold if you put up my tent.
Jesus, 5 gold.
Take it.
Sweet, it's yours.
Okay. All right. So the tents are relatively simple to put up. They don't require a great deal of knowledge, or they kind of just have this bracket that you kind of fix together, and it creates a little arc and a little doorway that is long enough that you can all kind of two people can sleep quite comfortably, except maybe as Ares who have to kind of sleep in one their own. And as Otto said, they are all lined with chainmail. So I will just say as well, whilst you're sleeping in these, you all get +3 to AC when you're.
Oh,
in
lovely. That doesn't
Nice.
make me nervous at all. I sleep with my shield out.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys have enough time, and you get all 4 tents arranged and kind of just around a central kind of pit of fire or area where there could be a fire. And then Reggie's areas, you guys kind of chop down enough branches and gather enough firewood that you think you could probably last most of the night.
Cool.
And
All
then,
right, when we get to one of these trees, instead of like just chopping a little bit, I'm going to chop the whole damn thing down. That should sort us out for a few days, right?
well,
We're just
okay.
there for 3 hours while Asteris chops down the tree.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't say this needs a check or anything like that. Just with enough time, you can essentially swing and swing and swing until you swing it off to the trunk that the tree starts to slowly collapse over. And I would say everyone outside of the camp, you just see one of the trees fall over in a loud crash in the forest, and Red, you
Jesus
just
Christ.
see what Ares has done.
Yeah, just pick it up and we carry on.
The whole it's a big tree. I don't
It's
know.
a
if
big
you-
tree. I'm taking
yeah.
the whole thing.
Oh my god.
All right, I mean, make a strength check.
Let's see, otherwise I might have to chop it up into bits. That is a... Where's my strength thing? Whoop. 11.
11. You can get it up and you can balance it on your shoulder, but as you try to move and pull it along, it is far too heavy for you to carry.
I may have overestimated. All right, chop it in half.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll take a little bit.
All right. Sure. Make another strength check just a minute.
No! Not again. It's a 12.
It takes a long time, but you get it balanced and you slowly drag it through, and it leaves this deep gouge along the earth. And then you can see as Ares in it. As Ares, you can see it leaving this large identifiable tract. You want to drag it back to camp?
No, I'll chop it up again and take carryable pieces this
All right.
time.
Okay. So you chop it small enough that it doesn't. You can essentially carry 2 pieces on your shoulder, and you walk back to camp until.
Carrying a bag of sawdust.
What's Reg doing this whole time? What are you
I
doing?
mean,
I'm just watching. I was sitting on the log while he dragged it, but.
okay.
Cool.
So
All right, we come back with firewood.
We get back and the whole camp is set up, dinner's ready, and I'm working on my autobiography.
So yeah, you guys gather around the fire, and well, do you light the fire or?
Yeah, I'll light the fire.
Okay. So yeah, you guys get a nice little fire going. You all kind of crowd around it, and is there anything you'd like to do, or should we just sort of pass time until something happens?
I'll just be chilling.
Chilling, okay.
I would like
more stories.
I would like to start intricately studying this lightning arrow, taking notes on it in my journal. I'm willing to use my tools to take it apart. Even I don't really care if this arrow doesn't function.
Yeah, I would say to get a kind of understanding of how it works, it would require a probably 2 tinkerers checks that we'd have to do across 2 days, just
Sure.
to kind of fully understand how it works. So why don't you make the first one?
Okay, big money, no whammies. Ooh. Let me see. That is a 25.
Okay, so you kind of start to poke around in the kind of this brass tube that runs along the top, and you begin to form an understanding of how exactly this works. That it kind of there's some sort of current channeled along the head of the arrow through this brass tube. But before you can maybe potentially recreate it, it'll probably require you a little bit more investigation.
Sure. I don't want to be up all night doing this either, so I'll go ahead and put it away for the time being.
Okay.
I would just be like entertaining myself with thaumaturgy, changing the colors of the lights.
Ah, that's
alright,
cool. Okay. You're like a RGB man.
I do have an RGB keyboard.
Oh
So
dear. I think I do as well, but it's just stuck on orange and I don't know how to change it.
I just have it off.
Oh,
Yeah, I just always have mine
That's
off.
the thing. You buy RGB stuff and you just turn it all off because you realize it's really annoying.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Everything's RGB. Anyway, back to the game.
The only thing I'd do between now and kind of just being with the party is try to forage for not mushrooms,
Mushrooms.
specifically, but just any edible food that might help us, like, you know, not starve throughout our little adventure here.
Okay, why don't you make a survival check for me?
I rolled an 18.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of forage amongst the kind of shrubs and foliage that you find in the forest, and you manage to find enough berries that would feed everyone tonight if you wanted to. Or
Sure.
could actually feed yourself for probably 5 days.
Craig,
Yes.
Like a pie.
the rations that we have in our backpacks. I don't know if everyone has them, but I've got them. How do they work?
The rations are essentially the like dried meat or
Yeah.
oats that you boil. They're tasteless and bland, and
Oh, that's fine.
quite
Just like
bad.
how many do I need
Yeah.
per day to not
Just-
starve?
you just need to like consume its one ration a day.
Okay, cool.
But we don't really keep track of it, so don't worry.
All right, just in case.
Okay.
I come back to the party sitting. I don't know if we've lit the fire yet, but I've brought berries, which may make our rations a little less bland.
What
Thank you.
flavor are they?
They just look like red. They're just simple red berries, but you know they're
Ooh,
edible.
I like
as it-
red.
They tasted like red.
Oh, alright.
They're known to be quite sweet.
Yeah,
A little
we've
tart at
been
the end.
marching. I'll go ahead. Just give me a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave him a bunch.
I will eat the red.
We'll
So
have
yeah,
some
they're
bread, too.
they start off sweet and they're quite tasty, but they end kind of with a sharp taste, a little bit bitter, but you know they're not bad. So, you guys are all kind of crowded around the fire, and then I would say it kind of gets a little bit later, and the sun begins to set until, I would say, let's say Reg and probably Razix. You guys can hear a branch breaking just off to your side within the forest itself.
Can I have a look?
I guess you make a perception check.
That is okay. 17 overall.
Okay, so as soon as you hear this branch break, you take a look towards the forest, and you see this female elf figure step out, and she kind of makes eye contact with you and says, "Well met.
All right.
I assume Gelder sent all of you," and she kind of steps forward into the firelight, and you can all see this female elf now. She's got kind of long auburn hair that's bound back into a ponytail. Her face has kind of worn green and red paint on it. Looks like some sort of paint that the Gruul might paint on themselves, essentially. But it seems to have faded. She has kind of a leather vest on with dark woolen trousers and knee-high boots with kind of fur around the edges, and a number of kind of tassels and pieces of leather dangle off the boots. Her arms are exposed, and they show a number of tattoos, and most of them either colored in black or red. They're mostly geometric patterns, but you can make out a few sort of ferocious-looking animal faces and patterns and things like that. And then there are more bands of leather and straps around her arms and her neck that have various bones and animal tusks and teeth and all that sort of things. And strapped to her hip is a sheath sword, and then across her back is a large bow with a quiver of arrows.
Oh, you're Ayla then.
And that's me. I assume, as I said, Gelder sent all of you?
Yeah, that's the
Yep.
one.
Well, you're looking into Clan Skyer then. And she, at this point, she kind of comes forwards and sits down by your fire.
I offer her berries.
She just mutely a handful of
Yeah,
berries.
I'm just like,
Okay, she kind of looks at it and she doesn't really. She just kind of shakes her head and leans back and says, "Well, we can look into them, but I'd suggest we start off tomorrow. There's a route I know where we can get a look in on the camp."
How do
Let's
you
find out.
know Gelder? Well, what do you stand to gain from helping us look into Skyr?
Well, I've worked for Gelder for a good few months now. Just generally report on what's going on with the different clans, the kind of different leadership battles and things like that. But the reason I'm doing this is because I was a member of Clan Skyr, and dark things are happening there.
Dark how?
Why aren't you a leader why aren't you a member anymore?
Well, I had to escape, unfortunately. Probably about a month ago or so, a man arrived calling himself Milton with a group of what I can only assume are his followers, and they did something to our chief, and they began to take control of the camp, and they have a way of worming inside your mind and making you not want to fight back for some reason. And those who did were either killed or we never saw them again, at least. But I managed to escape, at least.
They have an old guy with them, bit stuffy, gray hair, smart dude. When they showed up?
Not when they showed up immediately, but probably within the last week, the last time Milton visited, there was one with them.
Where they keep him?
Well, he left with Milton.
So he's not there anymore.
No. But what I would say is you hold your questions till tomorrow, and we'll set out early in the morning, and we can get a look in on the camp, and I can better explain exactly what's happening.
Sounds good.
All right.
Is it safe for us all to bed down, or should I stay and keep watch?
I'll keep
You
watch
should.
for if we... Sorry.
No, you first. I think we were going to say the same thing.
Well, I said if we take turns, keep an eye out, we should be fine. There's no immediate Gruul in this area, at least none that would willingly attack us. And the beasties aren't too dangerous anyway.
I can take watch. I can see in the dark, and that's probably a bit of an advantage.
Okay.
I have a personal light thing that'll help me out too. I think we can all just take turns rotate.
Okay.
Well, other
Right.
people can see that light. That's my only concern.
Well, they can see the fire too.
If we keep it going, sure.
Well, you can put the fire out unless it brings you comfort. I've found you now. It's up to you.
Well, we're gonna set up in teams anyway, so whoever I'm with can just be able to see in the dark, and I'll be for backup and help. I'm not completely blind at night, just less good.
Okay. All right. So Ayla says, "All right, I'll watch out first, and then if someone wants to relieve me, or they can stay up with me."
Yeah, I'll stay up with you.
All right.
I'll go catch some Z's and then switch out with you guys afterwards.
You can see in the dark, right? You're an elf. You can see in the dark. Never mind. I said nothing.
Okay.
Can't just ask somebody that.
Okay. So, I say I guess you're all kind of heading off to bed. Ayla and Kosh stay up. They keep an eye out.
I am assisting her.
Yeah. Ayla doesn't say that she sees anything, and about 2 hours or so pass until she goes in and wakes up Azares and says, "It's your turn to keep watch."
Feel free to use my tent. No one else is in it. I'll wake up.
When I go in, just because I'll be heading back to my tent, I'll go ahead and wake up for Kara.
Okay.
All right, tag me out.
Okay, so Vicario and Azares, you guys would like to make
I'll be right back.
either you can make 2 individual per perception checks or 1 with advantage.
2 individuals.
Can either of you see in the dark?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Both of you will be rolling with a disadvantage as well.
We'll just swing. It's fine. I rolled a 5?
Not as bad as mine.
No, at 8. Sorry, I have.
I rolled a nat 1.
Here. Okay. So the two of you keep watch, but you know.
So we're just kind of standing there next to each other, be like, "You can't see anything, right?" I guess we'll just listen.
Fair enough. So you guys kind of keep it as best an eye as you can and listen. And the forest seems kind of a bit spookier. Well, not spookier, but a bit more unsettling at night. You kind of hear like distant animals squeaking out or growling and things in the distance, but nothing seems to come unnecessarily close to the camp until about another 2 hours or so pass, and it seems like your watch ends.
Tag out the other for the other two.
Okay.
Yep.
Wakey, wakey.
All right. And then again, Reg and Razix, if you guys want to make either one perception check at advantage, because I know you both have dark vision.
Yeah, we do.
Or you can
Let's roll separately,
All right.
just for fun.
Mine is.
My eyes versus yours. I rolled an 8.
Yeah, I didn't do much better. I rolled a 10.
Okay. So again, you guys keep kind of watch out into the dark of the forest, and again, it's a little bit unsettling, just kind of looking out into it, but nothing seems to cause concern. And eventually, the sun rises and morning comes around. And before everyone wakes up, why don't we take a short break here?
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Let's get drinks and use the bathroom, that sort of thing. All right. So
I'll be back in a sec. We're back.
And we're back. Lovely.
I love
Okay,
doing
so
that to Craig. No warning.
breaking my nose or anything.
That's what it is during the break. It's just digging for gold with Craig.
For 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We all just watch. We don't even leave.
Hell's bells. All right. So a meteor hit your camp during the night, unfortunately. So yeah, you guys all gradually come awake until Ayla kind of gathers you all together in the center of the camp and says, "Right, are you all ready to head off for the day then?"
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Well, so we won't be moving through the more civilized areas, I guess, is what we would call it. We'll be moving off the road, so I advise you to stick close and do as I say, and we should be all right. Now, you'd like to follow me. And she begins to head off deeper into the forest, if you all like to follow her.
Yep.
I follow.
Okay. So she kind of leads you through the forest, and as you get further and further from the road, the trees become much thicker. You can see more and more ruins in the forest itself of just these old buildings that have been here. Looks to be for a very long time. A lot of their walls are collapsed, and there's just no sign of anything other than just a few pieces of brickwork, that sort of thing. Until I'd say about 2 or 3 hours pass, and as you begin to come to what you can assume is the edge of an area of the forest, she kind of looks behind her and kind of puts her hand down behind you and says, "We'll need to be quiet going ahead from now on, so stay low."
Will do.
So she's going to make a stealth check. Would the rest of you like to make a stealth check?
I would love to in my splint armor.
I would love to try. Hey, that's not bad for Razix.
That's I have +4, so that's a 6 from me.
That's a 12 from me.
12. What did you get? Sorry, Razix?
16.
And- No, you can go first, Fakir.
18.
18. And Gosh.
22.
Imagine
What about-
Vicarious.
What about Mr. Nibbles, actually?
Oh yeah, let's roll a stealth check for Nibbles.
I'd like to think
We just take him through.
Nibbles rolls he rolls 15, but 20 overall.
This is a good boy.
So, the most of you start to kind of move off and relatively quietly. And Red, you step on a branch, and everyone kind of looks round back at you, and
So
you kind of freeze for a second before you all begin to quietly pass through the forest until you come to an area where the trees sort of break, and you essentially come to it's like kind of like a cliff edge. It kind of ends in like a sheer drop down into this kind of valley floor below, and Ayla drops down onto her stomach and begins to crawl forward to the edge, and she kind of looks back at all of you to, I guess, mimic
Follow
her.
suit.
So
Yes.
you all do the same. You all go down onto your bellies and crawl forward to the edge. Okay.
I will just crouch very low, which is probably about the same height as everyone else.
Okay. Sure. So you guys eventually all come to the edge. And before I describe it, so you guys get an order from left to right. So Ayla is in, I would guess, the middle. Who would be furthest to the left?
I'll go first to left.
Okay, Azares.
I'll be right on Ayla's left.
Okay. Gosh.
I'll be far right, I guess.
Okay.
I'll be to the left of Razix.
I'll be to the right of Ayla, I guess. That's
Okay,
some spatial awareness right there.
Sure. Lovely. Okay. So you guys all crawl up to the edge of this cliff, and you essentially look down into this large open valley. So from the cliffside, you can get a pretty good overlook of what looks to be this large Gruul camp. It's surrounded on all sides by a forest, but it's kind of been cleared out and broken away so that this camp can kind of essentially fit in it. It's circular in shape and surrounded by this wall of wooden stakes that form a border around it. You can see there's looks to be 4 entrances to the camp, kind of equally spaced out along the perimeter of the wall, and a path is essentially cleared through the camp to each entrance. So if you imagine the camp as like a pie, it's cut into 4 slices, if that makes sense. So the structures inside the camp itself appear to be almost entirely just oval and round tents made of animal hides and leather, and you can see each one kind of has a small hole in the roof where there's a few kind of wisps of smoke streaming out. The only structure that really sticks out is a little bit different. Is a much larger tent with a pointed roof that you would kind of guess is where maybe the leadership or clan chiefs or whoever resides there. you can see as well a number of figures around this larger tent keeping guard. And then on the opposite side of the camp that you're facing on, you can see there's this kind of smaller fenced off area. There's a number of large animals are kept in this kind of pen, but this distance is probably a little hard to work out exactly what animals they are. And throughout the camp, you can see there's a number of different people moving around. There's a few that are sitting by campfires, you can tell, seeming to work on some sort of small task you would expect to see in a large camp like this, like fletching arrows, preparing animal hides and cooking meals, that sort of thing. But then there are several more stationed at the entrances of the camp, keeping a watch on the forest, and there's more patrolling around the perimeter. And then the other thing, off to the right of the camp itself, there is this kind of large upward slope of the opposite side of the valley, and at the base of that, there's a mouth, the mouth of a cave. And you can see there are more figures patrolling and standing guard around that, and periodically you can see people come up to the surface where they take what looks like sacks, and they load them onto carts, and then large giants pull the carts back and forth between the mouth of the cave and then the camp itself. And then once within the camp, you can see people begin to unload the sacks from the carts and then take them inside tents. One thing that you do kind of notice as well that sticks out is looking around the camp, there's a few figures that stand out a little bit more. They generally seem to stand alone or in pairs, and what makes them stick out more is they're wearing very dark clothing, and all of them seem to have their hoods raised, and they seem to just be watching people as they kind of go about and work.
So I'll lean over to Ayla and whisper. Actually, I'll just whisper to the group. How close are we to the camp? They probably won't hear me whisper, right?
Nah, you could probably talk at a low, unless you probably yelled, they wouldn't be able to hear you.
Okay.
I would say you're probably about 300 feet away, or maybe more than that, probably about 500 meters essentially.
Oh, okay. I'll talk in a low voice then. So if Milton's not here and Embert's not here, who's our target? Are we going after the leader of this place? Or are we going after maybe trying to isolate one of the guys that sticks out because they probably work for Milton and interrogate them?
My guess is those hooded guys are Milton's goons.
For lack of a better word, there is goons. But there's a man you'll be... Or I don't even know if he is a man. Inside that cave. I've heard the others call him Yorman, but...
that's another guy I'm looking for.
Does that name...
Undead thralls.
Yeah, that name means a little bit to us.
Yeah.
Definitely tied to Milton for sure, and has at least some sort of power at his command.
He controls things here, I guess. It's very rare for this Milton to show up. He's only been here 3 times since he first arrived. But essentially, when he came, he took control of the camp, and he's forced most of us to begin working in the mines, digging up ores and things like that.
So, you said Milton brought Imbert here, right? How long was Imbert here? Or, sorry, he brought the old guy with him.
Aye.
It was to build something. Is it here, what he was working on?
They didn't build anything. I wasn't working in the mines that day, but from what I understood, Master Ember, as you call him, was instructing the people on what ores to mine and to aim for.
Okay, well, that makes it simpler. We don't have to find out what they're building yet.
They were only here for about an hour before leaving again. And that was almost a week ago now. We haven't seen them since.
But that Yorman, he's still in the cave.
Yes. In fact, he rarely, if ever, leaves.
What is
There's our
Yorman?
target.
I don't know.
You ever seen him?
From a distance. He has pale skin and he's surrounded by these figures in armor, but they never talk, and I don't know who exactly they are.
Would your people aid Yorman? I'm a little concerned about walking into the mouth of that cave in the heart of this camp.
Yes,
and dealing with it.
They most certainly would. Fathers have turned against sons. No one helps anyone else down there anymore. And those that try are either dead or, well, they change their minds quite rapidly and act strangely.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm no fan of the Gruul, but how'd they let themselves be controlled like this?
Well, on the day that Milton first arrived, he was taken before our chief, Murkoff. And we all thought it would be a fine display of Murkoff's prowess. It was just a man with a limp wandering in. But, well, Murkoff came out and said that we were all to listen to Milton and those that he brought.
Sorry, Craig, just so, how are you spelling that, Merkaw?
Merkaw.
Oh, got it.
I put a C. God.
My concern is if we can't go straight in.
No, and I have an idea that could work for you.
Well, great.
There's another Gruul clan nearby, Clan Pelska, and they hate my clan. They have been itching for a fight for a long time. It won't take much to convince them to attack. I'd propose that you convince them somehow and launch an attack on their camp. Hopefully, that'll create enough of a distraction for you to get into the mines. Because that's where Yorman is.
It's pretty useful.
We are pretty good at starting riots.
Too soon.
Unfortunately so, yes.
Timing,
All right.
Krasix, come on.
How are we gonna convince them? I mean, we ain't exactly Gruul looking, are we?
No, that
We
might
could-
be a problem.
I was gonna say we could. What if we, just as an idea, maybe watched the other clan did something that would be frowned upon and framed your clan?
Well, sorry, what do you mean?
Oh, I mean, let's just say somebody's going on patrol. Maybe we pick off one of their patrols, leave some of your clan's weapons or something of that nature at the scene, maybe some of their arrows, or we could even do something, just burn down a tent. I'm pretty
Whoa.
good at that.
Gosh, thinking like that, you made yourself look like a Rakdos bloke, right, when
Yeah.
we went to the club. How about you make yourself look like a Gruul bloke, and you go in the other ones and call them all a bunch of pricks or something, and be like, oi,
That's very
other
smart.
clan's the best, and then you leave, and then they'll be like, right, that wasn't on, and then they'll come fight 'em.
That is pretty smart, Reg. I mean, I was probably thinking too grandiose with my ideas, but all right, yeah, that's not bad.
I
And if
love
anything
that
goes
plan.
wrong,
let's
we'll be there to
let's
help
just
you.
let you run in there. You run out, and then you bring them all with you. You're quick, right? You're pretty quick.
You
You got him one of those swift
I
foot
mean,
boots.
Sure, maybe.
I hate Swiftfoot boots. They're bloody overpowered.
What are you talking about, Reg?
Oh, don't
You
worry
can spin
about
around in circles. I see
it.
what happens.
I had a stroke, sorry, continue.
It's all that food you eat. Your cholesterol is just
Yeah.
through the roof. But, yeah, it's fine.
Listen, that plan is bad.
Well, okay. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to run in.
That's not very constructive, Ayla.
We skirmish with Clan Pelska a lot. A small fight between two patrols is normal.
Mm.
You
I was
need
about
to
to say, it has to be big, right?
convince their Gorehorn himself. Their
Gorehorn.
chief, their
Oh,
war
well,
speaker.
then
Oh, he sounds nice.
here's the thing. I mean, I'm a persuasive guy. Vicaru's good at writing contracts. Maybe we just go in there and convince him that this is the perfect time
Gosh,
to launch
mate,
the attack.
you ever seen a Gruul person sign a contract?
Well, it doesn't. Okay, it was more about Vicaru's contract negotiating skills than the contract itself. It's like he brokers the deal between us. We convince him it's been a, because I mean, think about it. We're going in there to deal with them. Maybe it's a good time for him to attack.
I think Ayla might be right, and we just go, say to this Gorehorn, listen, mate, you attack, we'll help you. I mean, we're pretty capable.
pretty
and-
good.
That's
I
what I
like
just
that
said,
idea.
Rich.
Alright,
What a good idea, Rich.
Thanks.
I like it.
Go
Let's
do
do it.
that.
exactly.
I will say the simple approach generally works best with my people.
The Gruul are quite simple. No offense.
Yeah, normally you just stab him.
All right, let's go find some. Wait, what are they called again?
Clan
Gruul.
Pelsk?
They're called Gruul.
Let's go find some Pelskins.
Okay. Right.
Apples-
Well, actually, sorry, go ahead.
So, Ayla, would it help if in any way we looked any different? Would it help our cause at all if maybe I looked like someone from Clan Skyer?
No, because I'll be going with you. I'll
Okay.
speak on your behalf.
Sure.
Let's go rile up some Gruul, shall we?
Okay.
Is
there
won't
anything-
take much?
Whilst you guys are looking on this campus, anything you guys would like to do? Or, like, look for anything specific? Or are you just all going to back off?
Let's back off, I
I
think.
mean, can I see any more details on the hooded miscreants? Or
They're quite far away.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a perception check if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll make a perception. Alright. That is a plus. I mean, it's a 16.
Nah, you can't really make out any
Alright.
more. Okay.
They are hooded miscreants. All right.
Yes. Yeah. Specifically.
Ooh.
Okay. So Ayla kind of crawls backwards for a little bit before she kind of crouches back up and stands and says, "If you'll all follow me, I'll lead us there."
We follow.
Very well.
Okay. So she kind of passes back out, and she keeps again to the kind of deeper areas of the, I was about to say jungle, the forest, until you guys, I would say, just after probably about 4 or 5 hours of travel, arrive outside another camp, and there's a break in the trees, and you can see there's this kind of muddy path that leads up to an entrance, and it looks quite similar from a distance, at least, to the other Gruul camp. Is cramp? Cramp? Oh, I can't say it. Camp. It's surrounded by wooden stakes again, and there's this pathway that leads up to this closed wooden gate. And are you all approaching? Ayla's begun to break from the trees and
Yeah,
watch.
I'd be
Yeah, I want to
walking
all
side
keep
by
close
side.
together.
Yeah, okay.
Let's not
So-
get picked off.
She begins to close the distance, and you can see there are several clan members that kind of point towards you all as you approach, and they don't draw weapons in a hostile way. They all kind of take a tighter grip and grab swords that are in sheaths, that sort of thing. And as you guys get a little bit closer, this Minotaur holds up his hand and says, "Halt! Why have you come?" Before Ayla says, "We wish to speak with Gorhorn." And he kind of looks all of you over behind Ayla and, "Wait here." And he kind of passes back through the gate and seemingly goes away. So anything to do whilst you're waiting? You guys are kind of being lined up by all these Gruul clan members that are watching you, or
No, I'd just be waiting.
okay.
Day, sirs. Hello.
Ayla turns to all of you just whilst you're waiting outside and says, "Now, we're essentially about to enter the belly of the beast. Do not speak out of turn when we're talking to Gorhorn. He has a temper, and he is not afraid to use it. To be the leader of a Gruul clan requires more than just simple strength. So, be warned." Okay. So eventually this Minotaur returns, and he pulls back the gates for all of you, and he says, "If you'd like to follow me." So
We follow.
Ayla begins to walk
Okay.
off, and so you guys get led into this camp, and it's again mostly made out of actually, hold on, let me change the music. It's made out of mostly, again, these circular tents, which are just animal hides and leathers, and there are people sitting around campfires and eating and talking, that sort of thing. But as you guys all pass, they all essentially look towards you, and anyone who's kind of passing through essentially stops in their tracks and watches as you guys make your way through. Until eventually you're brought before a much larger tent with some more guards stationed around outside. And as you approach, this Minotaur pulls back the front tent, or the front entrance to the tent, and gestures for you all to enter.
We enter.
I'll go in.
Yep.
Okay. So, you guys enter the tent, and the inside is quite dark, and the only source of light is this small fire burning in the center of the tent The floor of the tent is made up of various animal floors, and you can see there's numerous skulls that decorate the walls. Some are of large creatures, but there are also a few humanoid-looking skulls on the walls as well. And towards the back of the tent is this large wooden throne, and at the top of that is a very large minotaur skull. Then sitting on the throne itself is a large minotaur male, and off to his side you can see what looks to be a human man with kind of long, unruly hair, and he's kind of rubbing his hands together. But it's hard to see them exactly. They're at the edges of the tent, and it's quite dark. And as you enter, he calls out, "Why have you come?" And that's from the Minotaur, I should say. And Ayla kind of looks back and gestures at the rest of you.
Well, we're here with a proposal for you.
A proposal? And at this point, he stands up and walks forward, and he walks into the kind of firelight, and you guys can get a better look at him. So he stands over about 7 feet tall, and he has these very long, ornate horns that you can see that kind of are carved with a number of geometric patterns and images, and there's several gold bands that adorn the horns themselves. He has very broad shoulders, and you can see there are patches of fur mist along his kind of exposed arms where there's a number of nasty-looking scars, and he's wearing a combination of what looks to be leather and metal armor. His upper chest and shoulders are covered are covered in pieces of metal, and it looks like it's been kind of hammered in shape to fit around his form. And also affixed to his left shoulder is a large boar skull, and you can see there's more smaller, what looks to be human-shaped skulls affixed to his belt. And says, "Well, let's hear it then."
Well, we reckon that we might help you get rid of Clan Skyer over there.
At this point, you see him kind of snort, and almost like a charging bull, he kind of kicks up some dirt and says, "Clan Skyer have long been a pain in my side. Why would you offer to help?"
I mean, does it matter? We've got our own business with them. Sounds like you've got plenty.
Yeah.
Let's go get them.
They took somebody that was close to us. Or to me, at least.
Cobble roaches come strolling into my camp and ask for my help. Do you bring a gift? An offering?
Oh. Hang on, actually, you like this. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out the giant boar tusk.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna be like,
Oh.
I'm gonna be like, I ripped this out of one of their war boars myself last time we met them, just to show you that we're serious.
Okay, he holds out his hand and
I like give it to him.
Okay, he takes it out and he kind of inspects the tusk for a bit, and he goes, "You did well to take care of this. Was it you alone?"
Oh, it was me and my friends. Well, who you see here, minus our new friend Leila.
I see. Well, it's no surprise that I'm more than willing to help take out Clan Skyer. But... I'll need you to do something for me first.
And
What is that?
Go on.
There's an old ruin nearby. I believe it was run by the Oars of. But it's been several hundreds of years, I believe, since any of them occupied it. A few months ago, a worm was passing through the area, and it disturbed the structure in some way. Something has been released there, and it causes problems for my people. And rather than risk the lives of my clan, I would send you instead.
Here's the worm.
It's so hard to find good attendance these days. Okay, I think that's more than fair. We're more than capable of handling this in a timely fashion.
You have our word. We will sort out the problem.
Do you have any advice for what we're looking for?
It's not of this world.
Mm.
The people who go near report of crying and wailing.
Would I have ever read anything about that, Craig?
Not really. I mean, people cry and wail all the time.
True.
Nothing particularly stands out.
Alright, well, listen, we'll sort it out. We'll come back to you when we have. Where are these ruins?
If you follow the path out of here north for a few hours, you'll eventually come to the ruin of an old tower. Head west from there, and you'll eventually find it.
Okay.
But I should ask, if you want us to make war with Clan Skyer, what exactly do you want us to do? And why does it interest you?
That was actually what I was going to ask before we left, is when it comes time to fight them, I would request that you allow me to help you plan with your strategists. I have a few ideas that might swing the battle in our favors.
What does a cobble roach like you know of true battle?
Well, probably nothing in the traditional sense that you would understand. I'm not nearly as skilled with an axe as you would be, or as skilled with the sword as my comrades may be. And to be honest, I can't even fire a bow. But
And you wish to persuade and talk to us on the nature of battle, little man?
Well, I assure you, we're getting to that. I keep plenty up here to stay alive, and I wouldn't be with them if I wasn't at least capable of a few things. And I'll show the gauntlet as well.
I care not for your trinkets.
Well, this trinket can shoot just about as well and sometimes better than most arrows. And it strikes truer than most blades. Surely not yours, but many.
Do you make mock of my people?
No, he doesn't.
Of course not.
He doesn't.
I have
Gosh,
my...
quiet.
Sari, shut up. I'm sure that I don't strike nearly as well as your people do, or anywhere close to as experienced. But when the time comes, I offer my services so that less of your people need to die in the coming battle.
I refuse your offer.
As you will.
Let's go find spooky things, shall we? Thank you for your time. I'm like shoving Kosh out.
Okay. So you guys make your way back outside the tent, and Ayla comes out with you, and as you do, she goes, "Oh, I told you to be careful."
You guys are all overreacting. I had control of the situation.
Don't ever insult a Gruul's pride.
I didn't. I said nothing to insult him. I was perfectly courteous.
That mouth of yours is gonna get you killed sometime.
I literally told him that his blade struck truer than mine.
Oh, why don't you go back in and try to convince him then?
Oh, can we not please? Let's go.
Yeah, let's keep going.
You guys are all overreacting.
Cause striking better than no blade at all really isn't a great service.
Look, this is better than any blade. All right, let's just whatever. Let's go to the place.
Listen, I won't be coming with you. I will stay with my people, or rather with the Gruul here. But I wish you the best luck. That's Ayla speaking, by the way. It's not some random. It's not me.
Thanks, Craig.
Bye, Craig.
Craig, I didn't know you were part of the Gruul. Hold on.
Thank God he's gone.
But good luck in what they've asked you to do. I will try and put myself on their war council if I can. And then maybe we can decide what tactics you want to use.
Sounds good.
But
Okay.
good luck, at least.
Don't get killed.
Okay. So I think you guys are following the northern path out of the camp and making your way outside.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So you guys eventually leave the camp, and the guards open the gates for you as you kind of pass through, and then they firmly shut them behind you as you pass outside. And then you eventually move along this path that just leads directly north for about an hour or two until you come to what you can obviously tell is this large tower that's collapsed in on itself. There's kind of rubble that goes across the muddy track that you've been following.
What time of day is it?
At this point, it's probably about noon.
Yeah.
Well, what's the plan?
We didn't ask what time of day.
He didn't say, so we can probably assume. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Should we just go in and poke around, see what's...
Sorry, you were told to come
Where?
when you get to this old tower to head west.
Ah, right, head west.
Yes. So, what would you like to do?
Well,
Do you guys
Is it
want
worth
to
looking
want to
in
have a
the
look at the tower? Yeah. I'll have a
Yeah, I
look.
think we probably should.
Okay.
Let's take a poke around. Why not?
So yeah, as you guys get a little bit closer, you can see most of it's kind of collapsed onto the road. It's just kind of a simple, like, circular or cylinder tower that kind of is kind of collapsed in itself a bit. But there's a small little doorway if you guys are wanting to head inside.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head inside, and there's this wooden staircase that kind of leads up the edges of the tower that you'd assume leads to the roof if there still was one, but most of it's kind of fallen off at this point and doesn't seem to lead anywhere. There's a few kind of discarded and rotting pieces of furniture, but there doesn't seem to be anything of great interest in here, I will say.
And what guild was this belonging to? Is this also...
It's just
Doesn't-
there's no identifying. Well, why don't you make an investigation check?
Sure.
Kind of peer around.
Oh god, I'm really like crap today. 7.
7.
Yeah. Get out of the
No.
way before combat. It's good. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys
Alright.
kind of poke around the tower, but there's nothing to identify who it might have belonged to or anything you can find at least.
Alright. Just carry on. Worth a look.
Okay. So you guys heading west now, leaving the tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Head west.
So you guys pass through the forest for about another hour or so. And it starts to, the sun kind of passes over its zenith and then starts to set just a little bit until there's kind of long shadows along the ground. And further ahead, you can see there's a slight break in the trees. And as you get a little bit closer to this, you can notice the foliage around. There's also a sort of vibrant green that it had. Most of it seems to be withered browns, and the grass is kind of dry and parched looking, and the ground is kind of dusty and dry, until eventually you get to what seems to be areas where most of any sort of greenery is just gone, and it's just dead plants and things like that, until you can see there's a structure ahead. And it looks like this long stone structure. It's kind of a rectangular shape. It looks like it's kind of partially collapsed, and it has sort of a look of a church. There's parts of the roof that are kind of at sharp angles, and you can see there's a partially collapsed steeple at one end. The long side of its face onto, I should say, as well. And then to the left, there's an archway on the side of the building that you would assume is where the main entrance is. There's kind of the remains of a door that you can see on the ground in front of it. And then further along that to the right, you can see there are parts of the wall that have collapsed in themselves, and you can't quite see inside. It's a little bit dark and shadowy in there. There's also a stained piece of glass that looks out, but it seems to be remarkably intact. And the glass of that is the Oars of Sun, or the stained glass is shaped into the Oars of Sun. And beneath that are a set of scales. And then on the outside, just around the structure, you can see there's a small fenced-off area in metal where there are a number of, well, this would be gravestones, but most seem to have fallen into disrepair or just collapsed in on themselves. And then there's a number of statues as well that kind of lead up, and there's a small pathway that you can kind of see that leads up to the entrance. But most of these statues seem to be partially destroyed. Then there's also the remains of a tall bell tower that also, again, just looks like it's collapsed in itself. There's a lot of, essentially, a place that's been left for a long time. There doesn't seem to be anything that suggests anything lives here even. And also as well, you can just make out further along on the roof and kind of along the edges, there's a number of carved stone figures and creatures, but most of them seem to be crumbling and falling apart as well.
Looks like this was a nice place once upon a time.
Depends on what you think nice is.
Well, it's pretty, I guess. Was.
Looks like nature's starting to win again, though.
It always does.
I set you up for that one, really, didn't I? Mikara, you make anything of all this?
Can't get over the shame. Wasted real estate, in my opinion.
Yeah, Vicari, what I would say is that if a place like, because this is obviously an Orzhov place, if it's gone to kind of this disrepair and ruin, you obviously know that the Orzhov Syndicate have seen no value in maintaining a place of worship out here any longer, and they've essentially severed all ties, I would say.
Well,
It wouldn't be awful if this area got reclaimed, though. Bit of a fixer, but
Maybe when Bakari retires.
Never change the carry.
do we want to head inside? I assume we don't see anything just looking around from here, right?
Can I go have a look at the graveyard?
Sure. Well, cautiously, Jasper, looking around, why don't you make a perception check?
6.
Nothing more than what I described, I would say. As Aries,
Yeah, nothing here.
you're making your way up to the graveyard. Is anyone...
Before we go inside, let's take a look around.
Okay. So are the rest of you all going with Aries?
Yeah, I'm just walking
Yeah.
beside his areas.
Yeah. Sightsee.
So you'll make your way towards this graveyard, and there's not a whole lot of gravestones in it. There's probably about a dozen or so, but most of them have collapsed in themselves. And the ones that you try to read any sort of engraving or who they belong to, it's been worn away to almost you can barely make out the lettering. It's practically unreadable, I would say.
Okay.
It's been that long. That's kind of the sense of what you get, is that it's been a long time since anyone maintained this place.
All right. Well, let's take a look inside. Maybe we'll find something there.
Okay.
Rude.
Yep.
Sure. Okay. So you're making your way up towards the main door of the structure that was kind of collapsed. There is, I will say as well, there's these, you can see where the walls have collapsed as well. There's kind of these two gaping holes that lead inside if you want to go in that way as well. But it's up to you.
Would it be an easy way to get in?
I mean, there's some rubble along the ground kind of scattered. It doesn't look like there's any chance of anyone kind of tripping or having to climb over anything if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll just go through the path of least resistance.
Front door is front door.
Front door. Okay. Give me a moment. Can I just get an order as everyone's entering?
I think I'm beside Azaris at the front.
Yeah, I'll go in first.
I'd be after them.
Reg, Razix,
I'm in the middle.
Vikaru, and then Kosh.
I'll bring up the rear.
Okay.
Gosh is still looking at it.
Yeah. Just the scenery.
Okay. So you guys enter the structure, and more of the collapse kind of becomes apparent. You can see there's large stone support columns that probably held up the roof at one point. Some of them have just broken off at the top and are smashed onto the ground or have collapsed entirely. You can see there's a small doorway just off to your left, but to your right is kind of where the main portion of the church is. Essentially, there's a small set of small set of stairs that lead up into this kind of larger open area where you can see there's a few wooden benches that are set up facing towards a stone altar. And you can also just make out there's a stone staircase behind the benches off to what would be your right that seems to lead beneath the church. And then surrounding this area with all these wooden benches, there's 6 stone statues around the central area that depict what looks like robed figures, but they all seem to have small stone urns at their feet. And then floating in the center of the room is this kind of glowing white apparition that kind of just fades in and out of view. It appears to look like a young woman with kind of long robes, and it floats around her as if she's underwater, but her head is kind of bent forward in her hands and you can't really see her face, and she seems to be quietly sobbing to herself as she floats around, but you can't really hear anything.
Would I recognize any of those statues?
Nah, not really. There's nothing outright that signals anything. They're just robed figures, essentially.
And the woman looks real, right?
No, it's a glowing white apparition of a wolf
Floating.
that's floating.
How far off the ground is it floating?
Just about 1 foot or so.
Okay.
Well, I think we found the problem.
Do we
Do we speak?
talk to it?
I don't know. Do we just chuck an arrow at
Well,
and
someone
see-
who has a bit more of a delicate manner than me try talking to her.
Her robes, do they appear Orzovian?
Make a perception check.
Alright. Do I have a bonus to perception? That's a 10.
You don't see any symbols on the robes, whether or not just because you can't see at the distance, or whether there are no symbols. It's hard to tell.
Don't worry, guys. I can take one for the team. Always one for the women. All right.
I feel as if I should speak to her.
Yes.
Hey,
Considering
you can lead. Good cop, bad cop. You go first.
Oh no.
Oof.
I'll hold him back.
Let's see if there's any special I can do here. All right, this is a long shot, but I'm gonna begin speaking to her in Celestial.
Okay, what do you say?
I would say, crap.
All right.
Everything's gonna be fine. No, I would probably say, is there anything I can help you with?
Okay, so you kind of speak that out, and well, do any of the rest of you speak Celestial? I don't think any of you do you?
Craig, you're
How do we
gonna
check that
love
again?
this, my friend. I speak Celestial.
Nice.
Wait, where do you see that?
In
It
your
should be
language
over-
proficiencies, bottom
Yeah.
left of your character sheet.
Bottom left.
You don't. You
Oh
don't
no, I speak
Celestial.
Common and Minotaur.
My extra language I took as Celestial from my time being taught by angels in the Boros Legion.
Okay, so Red, you hear Vicari speak out, and the female apparition looks towards all of you as you've entered. She kind of pulls her hands back, and you see quite kind of a young woman, and her hair floats kind of around her face, and she doesn't seem to say anything. She just kind of holds out her hand silently towards you, Vicari.
Her hand is in an Orzhov place. I think she wants money.
I think you might not be right there.
Wait, you said hold out her hand. You mean like this, right? Or do you mean like pointing?
Let me go back here a little bit.
Ooh.
Craig, could you please hand model for us? Exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
How striking.
I love it.
I've never regretted
Try
not.
give a ghost
I wish we
money.
had like a full screen Craig cam. But that was beautiful.
I mean, I would pull out a gold coin, and how far away is she?
Ooh, Vaquero, women hate
Like
when
in
you
the air, right?
She's not like floating like high up off the ground. She probably from where you are, probably hold on, about 40 feet or so from where you are
Okay.
right now.
I would walk 10 feet forward, cast Mage Hand, put a coin in my hands, in my Mage Hand, and float it towards her and attempt to give her the coin.
Okay.
Wait, it's not. She's a ghost, though. She probably can't
I'll
hold it.
catch the
I'm still gonna
man.
try. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Points for trying.
Okay.
It's gonna flip through her hand. It's
So,
just
yeah,
gonna get
The kind of corporeal hand floats forward with this coin, grasps its fingers, and drops it just above her outstretched hand. But you can see the coin just falls straight through her hand and kind of hits the ground and kind of tink, 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 tink before it comes to rest. And at this point, she says, "Please, come closer. Help."
Is she saying that in
No,
common?
she said in common, yeah, not in Slack.
Okay. Well, first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and get my coin back.
But your mage hand goes down, picks up the- okay.
I'm going Mage Hand my coin back.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Fudge.
I mean, I feel like we should help her, right?
We'll just keep your guard up.
I'm. Oh God.
My prep a reaction.
Sure.
My danger sense is working,
Yeah,
right?
if I have some type of like, if she starts acting aggressively, yelling, screaming, yada yada,
Mhm.
damaging in any way, I'd like to invoke my spores. Just no, I don't mean like at her. I just mean like
Around yourself.
around myself.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I'm just saying, guys. I've read about this stuff before. Sometimes spirits are tied to this world for whatever reason. She needs help. We should help her.
I mean, I literally deal with spirits constantly.
Yep.
Uh,
It's a zero ball game. Let's go.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself, and just approach her.
Okay.
Do what she says. Hope it works out.
Okay.
The
Are
classic.
the rest Are the rest of you approaching?
I'm approaching like a footstep. I'm following Vicarious' lead, essentially.
I'm keeping an eye out for any shenanigans.
I'm gonna walk next to Reg here.
Okay. So, Razix, are you hanging back?
No, I'd come along too. I kind of want to try to shake her hand if she's doing she's.
Well, it seems to be Vicaru that she's fixed on.
Of course.
She's doing palm readings. Razik's get in line, all right?
Yeah, I'd be coming up,
Okay.
trying to stay with the party.
As you walk closer and closer and closer until you're about 10 feet or so, she says, "Save me." And all of a sudden, her entire appearance changes from this kind of pleasant, nice-looking young woman to this, like, decayed face with kind of bone piercing through, and her hair just suddenly flies up all around her, and just this angry expression comes towards her face. And I'd like you all to roll initiative.
Right.
Yep.
Probably should have seen that happening, really.
Or actually, as well, as she suddenly changes into this much more violent-looking apparition, you hear two... Oops, wrong one.
Hey,
Hey, leak.
spoilers.
Was that Niv Mizzet? Maybe Cash will get to take a splash at Niv Mizzet.
Hey.
What a callback.
You guys hear the sounds of shifting stone above you.
Shit-shifting.
Shitting stone. Shifting
I
stone
didn't know they could
above
do
you.
that.
As you guys kind of look up, you see two of these stone-carved figures that were on the roofs suddenly come to life and
Oh dear.
toward you as well. So you guys are essentially around here.
Alright,
This is the
initiative
first
anyway.
board I've had to actually modify the size of.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I should say as well. Whoops. The shadows on this map were created for me by Biko. It's normally an unshadowed.
Oh, nice.
Very freaking.
Shout out Big Boy Biko, the graphics boy.
The boy. So are we approaching from the left?
Yeah,
or the
sorry, the left side. Yeah, just
Am I kind of in the right area?
yeah, that's fine. Just kind of shuffle yourselves about, and then I'll add you all to the turn order,
Oh dear God, I gotta roll this.
Dank 20s.
and then I'll pick up the music.
Initiative, let's go! Oh, I rolled a
Nice
13
rolls.
twice. How did I do that? I've rolled like 4 13s so far this episode.
Oh, it disappeared. All right, try again.
Nibbles is a.
Yeah, it did that to me too.
I just rolled
Yeah, same.
another. I just rolled 3 13s in a row.
You are a god.
What is the odds of that happening?
Just a heads up, Greg.
Hold
I
on.
can't
13%.
put my initiative in. Put it in for me.
Sure,
Shut up, Justin. you
17.
dick.
7.
Alright, thank you.
Oh, wait, I don't think I'm at the back.
I don't know why I found that so funny, but I did.
Well, when we started the series, you said you
No, I was in the front.
back.
And then I was like behind Vicari. That's
Really?
fine.
Because
No, Reg was directly behind me.
yeah, because I thought it was Vicaru, then me and Reg, and then Razix walked up, and then you said you wanted to hang back, right?
No, but it's fine.
I mean, you can move yourself to where you think you'd be as Ares. Like you could.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
go
I mean-
behind the doggo.
Okay. All right. So
You're more than strong enough to push me out of the way if you want to stand.
Oh yeah, I'll get past you if I need to. Don't
Okay.
worry.
So, Vicar, all of a sudden, this face is changed, and she begins to scream and yell right into your face. What would you like to do?
Man, that's incredibly rude. Let's see. What do I want to do? I'm like between making my friends swole again or trying to bane them. I have no idea how high charisma would be on a ghost and 2 gargoyles. Which
Well,
is
at
what
least there's no roof today, so you know.
I think I'm gonna invoke Daru's Bane, and they need to roll a charisma save.
Okay, is that on all 3 of them? Okay, all right. So,
But let me actually. I realize I have to see if I can actually hit all of them. All right, so I'm actually going to move first because I need to. No, move.
sure, yeah, that's fine.
Dumb thing. There we go. All right, cool. Now I will cast Bane.
Okay, and it's a Wisdom save, is it?
It is a charisma save.
Charisma save. Okay, the ghostly woman rolls a 21.
All right, well,
The top gargoyle rolls a 15.
dang it. All right.
And then the bottom left gargoyle rolls that's a 7.
All right, I got one of them.
Let me just add the Bleeding Eye of Bane. There we go. Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to get in its face more.
Okay, so you're moving back there. Sure. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Razix. So I know you immediately you had enough time to do your spores because you had
Yes.
that reaction prepared. So that's all good.
Awesome. I would like to cast Hold Person on the wailing lady in front of me, if possible.
Okay.
So it's a wisdom saving throw from you.
Okay, so that's another 19.
Damn.
It's OP.
Nothing happens, I guess.
Okay, so you kind of reach forward and try to chain her in place, but she just kind of screeches out and resists any attempts.
I guess I will bonus action cast Shillelagh,
Sure.
and I will step this way and invoke my spores on the gargoyle.
Okay, so that's what save?
Constitution save from you.
All right, well, let's see. That's 20 total.
Great. I've done nothing this turn.
All right. Right, Kosh.
Okay. Gonna go ahead and preemptively cast Zephyr Strike on myself.
Okay.
So that doesn't do anything for me this round, except my movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, but that'll do more stuff later. And then I'll go ahead and take out the Golem, take a shot at the lady that's now decaying.
Okay.
All right, that's a new one, and that is a natural 19. So
That hits.
26. Nice. Where's my D6? I lost it. I found it. 14 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so you raise your gauntlet and fire off a shot, and it passes through her body. You can see kind of wisps of her, this form of her kind of break off towards her back, and kind of this large hole, but it seems to kind of knit itself back together and reform.
Well, that's not going to work.
Well, that is demoralizing. All right, I guess I'm in an okay spot. I stand behind Asterius just to be safe.
I think
Is that a pillar?
there's a pillar right there.
Oh, true. I moved to the other side of Asterius just to be safe.
Okay, sure. All right, Reg.
And then that's my
sorry.
turn.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Reg.
no.
All right, I'm gonna sling my bow off my back
Okay.
and crack out a shot. They haven't acted yet, right? So I have advantage. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim for the ghost lady who just transformed.
Sure.
The first one is 17. The second one is 23. So 23 to hit.
Okay.
Oh,
that
sorry,
hits. 24 to hit. That hits.
Yeah. All right. And that is going to be. Where is my D8? There's going to be 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so you pull back your bow and fire off a shot, and again, it passes straight through her, and you can see it kind of leaves this large hole inside her form that again just closes back over.
Ooh. Did it look like it was effective?
I mean, she seems to have reacted to it in some way. I mean, enough that you can assume that she might have taken damage from it.
Okay.
Just maybe not.
I just want to remind you, my bow has magical properties.
I know.
All right, just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right. So with my bonus action, I am going to. What do I want to do? Yeah, I'm also actually going to cast Zephyr Strike on myself.
Okay.
And hold it. Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Nibbles. Sorry, Reg. Does Reg want to move?
Yes, actually. I will move just up to the steps. I'll move up to the start of the steps, so around there.
Okay. Sure.
Nibbles is going to be the good dog that he is and charge up and take a leaping bite at them.
Okay, go ahead.
Which is going to be a... Oof, that's not good. That's going to be an 11 to hit.
I'm afraid that misses. So just as Mr. Nibbles kind of leaps forward to try and grab hold of a piece of her, she just kind of floats backwards and his jaws just kind of clamp together on empty air.
Alright, well, yeah, that was him trying his best. But that's the end. Yeah, that's the end of my turns.
Okay. Asterius.
All right, I'm gonna try and throw my javelin at her. Why not? Maybe
Okay.
something will stick.
Just to remind you, Ellie, she probably might want to rage as well.
Oh
before-
yes, I start raging. Thank you.
Okay.
Just thought like it's inherent, but no. Yes, I start raging. I'm going to throw my javelin at the lady
Okay.
and see if maybe my divine fury does anything to her. If I can hit javelin, that's a 17.
17 hits. If you like to roll damage.
Yes, that is 7 piercing damage.
7 piercing damage. Okay. And how much
Plus my radiant damage, which is. Wait, did I roll the right thing? Yeah. Radiant damage is 3.
radiant?
3
Okay.
radiant damage.
So you throw back this javelin, and again, similar thing was happening with everyone else's projectiles where they kind of pass through her. But as yours kind of flares with this radiant light, you can see more of her form is kind of burned away by this light, and she kind of screeches out and yells.
Ooh. Okay. I like hitting her with this stuff. Let's do more of that. I will not move.
Okay. All right. So their turn. First things first, she is going to. Okay, first of all, she's going to float away from Mr. Nibbles, but Mr. Nibbles can take an attack of opportunity if he'd like, because she's just floating off the ground.
He would love to. Alright.
Okay.
That is. Oh, okay, that's a 14 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Oh, yes. Alright. 2d4. Let me grab my d4s.
Good doggo.
I was not prepared. That is 5 points plus 5. That is 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so Mr. Nibbles just kind of bites forward and clamps down onto like kind of the bottom of her form, and again his jaws kind of pass through it as it slows her down, but more of her sort of form dissipates and is pulled away before kind of re-knitting itself back together.
All right.
Okay, and as she comes towards this statue down here, remember these are the ones with the kind of urns at the bottom of their feet, she kind of holds her hands out towards it and says, "Rise, rise." And this
No more.
this robed ghostly figure that seems to mimic the entire look of the statue appears alongside her. Whoops. There we go. You should be able to see it now.
Oh dear.
And then she is going to, after she's done that, she will float off towards. Yeah, she can do that. She kind of floats off towards this other statue, and then the gargoyles, which at the moment they're up on the remaining walls. The one next to you, Razix, essentially just kind of leaps down and crashes down onto the floor next to you, and it kind of screeches out towards you, but it makes no sound as it does. It just kind of makes this appearance of doing that. And first of all, it's going to try and take a bite at you with these kind of sharp teeth. So that's a 23 total.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, goodbye, Razix.
Yeah, see ya.
All right. First of all, the sharp teeth just kind of clamp onto your arm, and you take 3 points of piercing damage from that. And then the claws of the creature just kind of swipe out towards you, and that is a 14.
Doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit. So you just kind of back out of the way of the attack. And then this other one up on this roof here. Okay, it's going to. It sprouts kind of it doesn't sprout. It has these kind of stone wings alongside it. They just kind of flap through the air, and it lands right down next to you, Kosh. And it's going to try and take a bite out of you.
Nom, nom, nom.
So that's
That's the sound the gargoyle makes.
It is.
that's a 16 total.
Minus a d4.
So let me roll that. Good reminder. Okay, that's it down to 12.
Does not hit.
Doesn't hit. Okay, and now it's going to make a swipe at you with its claws. So
Daru coming in clutch.
that's
Yeah.
22 right now, and then 21 total.
Yeah, I think that'll hit me.
Okay. Okay, so that's 4 points of slashing damage as its kind of stone claws just kind of swipe at you.
Ow. My
Okay.
cloak.
And that ends their turn. Vicara.
I am going to summon my spectral weapon.
Okay.
I'm actually going to put it there. And that is going to attack the gargoyle that's between it and Kosh.
Sure.
So yeah, I think I just roll. That is plus 5 or plus 6. That's 24.
That hits.
All right, so it takes 1d8 plus spellcasting mod. It takes 6 damage.
Okay, and what kind of damage is it?
That is force damage.
Force damage. Okay. So
Yes.
the sun just kind of smashes into the back of the gargoyle, and it kind of arcs back, and you can see more of the stone kind of crumbles off it.
And then I will cast Toll the Dead on it.
Okay.
That's taken damage. It is a Wisdom save. Minus a
save?
d4.
Minus a d4. Okay. That brings it to 7 total.
It fails.
It failed.
Here's the ringing of my death nails.
Okay, sure.
And it takes... Where's the d12? Takes 11 points of damage.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So as you kind of
Son of a minute.
call out these ethereal bells, it kind of grabs its hand, puts its hand up towards its ears, and kind of rears back. So yeah. Anything else?
Well, that is pretty much fine there. So I think I'm gonna go over here, just so that if I need to start healing people, I can see them all.
Sure.
I always imagine Vicaro's like Toll the Dead is just coins jingling in somebody's pocket.
Oh, that's so much
He
better than a
starts
bell.
knocking his head along to it.
Absolutely.
It's like a cash register, like cha-ching.
This is now canon.
The impending doom of capitalism just makes his opponents just afraid.
Bankruptcy. Ooh.
Oh dear.
Lordy.
Okay.
Just
Razix.
so I can understand, the thing that just came out of the statue is also a ghost-like figure.
It seems to be, yeah, it kind of floats off the ground a little bit, and there's kind of these wisps of black smoke at its feet.
Okay, I am going to, and that doesn't really change anything, but in that case, I'm going to try and cast Chill Touch on the scary evil lady over there.
Okay.
So I have to hit her with a ranged spell. Let's see here.
Okay, good luck.
I rolled a 16.
16. That hits.
Sweet. So roll a d8 for damage. Necrotic damage, this is. Oh, minimum damage. Rolled a single 1.
Love it.
But on hit takes d8 damage, and it can't regain hit points until the start of its next turn. If it's undead, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against you until the next turn.
Okay.
Nice.
Against me specifically.
Okay, so as you kind of lean out and you sorry, what was the name of the spell again?
It's a Chill Touch. It makes like a ghostly hand that's
Okay.
like...
So you see this ghostly hand kind of appear out of your hand and just kind of float towards her, and it kind of scratches across her, but you can see it just leaves no marks across her form. She
Yikes.
doesn't react to any sort of pain or leap back or anything like that. So I
Uh-oh.
will add. So just as you did hit, I will give her the. I'll give her the. Don't go sign or whatever of disadvantage.
The don't go sign.
Yes,
The no touch.
only against Razix.
That's my favorite sign, really.
Okay. Anything else, Razix?
I'll invoke my spores. Actually, I won't invoke my spores. That's it for me.
Okay. Kosh.
Okay. I'm going to run around here to a series. I do not take an opportunity attack because I cast Zephyr Strike last turn.
Okay.
Moving there. Actually, I guess what I should ask is before I go all the way around, because there's a pillar there, I wouldn't have line of sight on it, right?
You could try and fire through his Ares, but I would say that adds 2 to
Are
it.
you okay with me just kind of like slightly retconning that and just backing up?
Yeah,
a few
that's
feet?
fine. Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
Yeah, I'll just back up a few feet then. I will use my bonus action to reload, and I'll take another shot.
Okay.
That is a 12.
So you
For context, I'm hitting at the gargoyle.
the gargoyle. Okay, so you kind of raise your arm and fire with a shot, but it just scrapes across its form, but it doesn't seem to do any damage. It just goes pinging wide off it.
Okay, yeah. I'll use the rest of my movement to get to the other side of this area again.
Okay.
And end my turn.
All right, Reg.
All right. I'm going to. What do I see the spooky fellow doing here?
That one. He's essentially come within the statue. When he came forward, he was sort of the outline of the statue, and now he's just floating there.
How far off the ground?
Just a few feet off the ground. He's not like flying through the air.
All right.
He's like sort of ground level. It's like coming into land.
Okay. So like basically, would I think I'm able to like melee him by the time I run to him?
Yes.
All right.
He's just hovering off the ground.
Okay, so I'm gonna activate my Zephyr Strike attack. Now, Zephyr Strike says that I get the bonus movement on that turn when I activate like the special attack.
All right. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's
it says
fine.
like you may give yourself advantage on an attack, and you get bonus movement on that turn.
Yeah, I would
So,
assume that
okay.
applies across the whole turn.
I think so. All right, so I'll activate that, and I'm gonna charge at this guy because I have enough to do it. I'm gonna charge at him and make a melee attack with my rapier.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, has he acted in combat yet?
He has not. No, he has been summoned in some way, but he has not done anything yet himself.
Excellent. Okay. My character sheet closed. I apologize. There you go. All right. Okay. So I'll roll with advantage. I'll find my d20. There it is. All right. The first one is a 23 to hit, and the second one is a 24 to hit.
Okay. Yep, that hits.
All right, and that is for 9 points of piercing and 3 points of force damage. So 12 points.
Okay. So you swing back your rapier and then just tend to try to pierce through its robes, and you can see the kind of part, and this kind of wispy black smoke begins to drift out, and it kind of falls back a little bit, but seems to still be standing.
All right. Yeah, I'll use my bonus action to just Hunter's Mark that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you apply the Snail of Hunter's Mark, please?
The Snail of Hunter's Mark.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Or anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, now Mr.
Nibbles will just charge up and take an attack at the same target.
Sure.
He has advantage because of pack tactics. The first one is a 18 to hit. Second is that's a 6 to hit.
Okay,
18?
18 hits.
Okay. D4. That is 4 points plus 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. So Mr. Nibbles leaps back and then just clamps his teeth down onto a part of the robe and begins to tug and pull, and the robe kind of pulls apart and tears, and more of this wispy black smoke kind of drifts out.
Don't eat the smoke, Nibbles.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Azares.
Right, I want to try my new ability out. So, I'm going to reckless attack this guy.
Okay.
So I get to roll twice, yeah? I'm going to hit him with attempt to hit him with my battle axe. One-handed. Let's see. Please don't roll like shit twice. Battle axe. First one's a 16. And second one is an 18.
Okay, yeah, you hit.
All right. So now fell-handed. So I gain a +1 to whatever attack. Or was that... Wait.
So yeah, fell-handed just gives you +1 to the attack.
Okay, so
Right,
+1 to the actual, the damage that I do, right? Okay.
No, not the damage.
Not the damage
just
to the
stabs.
attack. All right, so then it was 19 to hit then. Okay. So I can knock him prone if the lower of the 2d2s.
Okay, yeah, that would hit as well, so you can knock him. So
yeah, when I hit him, I can knock him prone.
yep, so if you want to roll
Right.
damage for me.
Sorry, first time I'm figuring this out.
Oh, no problem, I know. New abilities.
8d8, there it is. Ooh, nice. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of that, plus the Divine Fury. 13 plus 5, 18.
Okay. So you swing back and just smash your axe into the back of the gargoyle, and as you do, it kind of flares with this radiant light that kind of glows and arcs down. And as it crashes into it, you can see it kind of, with such force that it essentially knocked onto all fours, and it's carved kind of a deep gouge into the stone of its back, and it's kind of lying flat on the ground right now.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else?
I mean, I could hammering horns it, but I think that the flying Oars of Star thingy is fine. So
Okay.
we're good.
Sure. Okay. All right. So at the start of the enemy's turn, sorry, the ghostly woman kind of again raises her hand towards this statue, and she does something to it, and another one of these forms appears and kind of drifts out of the.
Yeah, maybe we should have stopped her.
And then
I was trying.
and then she again floats over with surprising speed to this other statue. But I will say, when she's exposed into the sunlight, there's more of her form becomes apparent, and you can kind of make out sort of the more of her, I would say, if that makes sense.
Curse Bicko and his shadowy treachery.
Now, the first of all, the gargoyle next to you, Razix, is going to first take a bite at, or try to take a bite at you. That's a 6 total, which I assume misses.
That does miss.
Attack, which is a 5 total. Again, a miss.
Also misses.
The gargoyle next to you, as Ares, is first going to stand up and then move forward, and then I will roll the minus d4 as well. So first of all, that's 14 minus 1d4, so that brings it down to 12 total. Does that hit?
Nope.
Okay, and then with its claws, it swipes back at you.
Wait. You can. I raged, so I'm
I
going to
reckless
reckless.
attacks, yeah.
So you need to roll again.
Okay, so the second attack is again another 14, 11, which I assume misses.
Can't touch this.
And then with its claws, it's going to swipe at you. The first attack is a 12, which I assume fails, and its advantage, natural 20. Okay.
Ouch.
Is that still not affected by the Bane, though?
Nope, natural 20 is an automatic crit.
Yeah. So,
Gotta love naturals.
okay. You take, as it kind of scours this deep gouge across your stomach, you take 11 points of slashing damage.
Is that me?
Yes.
Oh, rude.
At least it's halved.
Yeah, so half because you're raging.
There's 5, right? Or
Yeah,
6.
5. We always round down. So then the form next to you, Reg, you can see its form is kind of spilling out of these robes, and it looks to be in quite a bad situation, but it does kind of reach out towards you with its hands and tries to lay it on you. And that's 17.
That does hit because I've got my bow out.
Okay. So as its hand kind of clamps down and heavily onto your shoulder, you take 4 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And that ends.
4 points of
Before-
neck damage.
I
saw that.
What's the neck?
They too.
So- I know. I said like necrotic.
Just say neck damage.
Yeah.
Before Vicara
Final
goes,
chord's just not the same.
could I invoke spore damage on her?
Sure.
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Hopefully she
seconds.
fails at least once.
Constitution saving throw. Okay. All right. That is a 14 total.
Oh wait, let me check. Crap. Never mind. It was so close.
No. Okay. All right. Vicario.
All right, I shall move my spiritual weapon forward and attack.
Sure. Go ahead.
How is this worded? Let's see. Once you use possibly changing the outcome. Okay. 11.
Does not hit.
I hear a voice in my head,
Mhm.
and I'm utilizing Favored by the Gods.
Okay.
Essentially, my angel is laughing at me and giving me help against my will.
Laughing at you.
13.
13.
Right, I can do math, right?
That also does not hit, I'm afraid.
Wait, why am I dumb?
Oh, bless you.
I added 1 4, not both 4s.
So did your first attack hit? Or
8 plus 9.
17.
8 plus 9
17.
is 17. That,
I got
that-
Hard, guys.
all right, that hits.
Man, you guys are giving
Only
NA a
once.
bad name today.
Oh gosh, the dumbness is real. And it takes 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay, what type of damage? Force damage. Is
Force,
it?
yes.
Okay, so again, the Oars of Sun just kind of pulls back and then smashes into the side of this creature, and it kind of see more of a deeper crack along the stonework for it.
And then I guess I will cast Toll the Dead on the ugly ghost lady.
Okay.
That is
That's a save from me, is it?
Wisdom save, yes.
Okay. So that's a 11 total.
Yes. Hit it for 2 damage.
And what type of damage is it?
It is necrotic damage.
Okay, so you
Oh no.
we hear the sound of a ringing cash register.
Ching,
But
ching.
she just seems to be completely unaffected by
Oh, okay.
My thoughts exactly.
it.
It's not very effective.
Anything
That's
else?
my turn.
Okay. Razix.
All right. So what I have seen that I can kind of see more of her in the sunlight.
Yeah. You've all seen that there's more performance. She becomes more apparent when in direct sunlight.
Perfect. I am going to move and invoke the attack here. Oops, that's not how I wanted to move. Sorry, try that again. Like that.
Okay, so yeah, the gargoyle will use its reaction to take a swipe at you with its claws.
Yep.
That's a 19 total.
That hits.
Okay, you take 3 points of slashing damage. It just kind of catches the back of your heel with its claws and scores kind of a deep gouge there.
Okay. I am now going to try, also trying to hurt her, of course, as well. I'm going to cast Thunder Wave. Trying to almost knock the building down, not so to speak, as well as just trying to damage her. Thunderous
That's
Force, so you got a Constitution saving throw for you and the gargoyle, and wait, nope, not him.
Okay,
Just the girl and the
That's
closest
that guy.
gargoyle.
1 second. Oops.
Sounds fun.
Is it a 15-foot cube? Thunder.
15-foot cube, yeah, I think I also hit...
You also get Vicarious. I'm afraid.
Unfortunately.
That's not quite cube-like to get. No, I wouldn't. Well, I would
It's
also
up to
say
you.
Kosh. Yeah, it's within 15 feet.
I tried to
Yeah.
move as far away
You
as
gotta
possible,
trust
but
the based arrow god. If the arrow says
Yeah.
15 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's just the fairest way to do it. So, Kosh.
It's a
Vicarious.
saving throw, right?
Yes.
it's a
Oh, cool. I'm
Constitution
proficient in
saving.
those. So I got 16.
Okay.
That saves.
I threw an 8.
8, that does not save.
Mm.
Okay. For the
Ow.
ghostly woman who has disadvantage.
Cash about
Yeah.
to get blasted off like Team Rocket.
Okay, she
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
rolls a 7 total, and then the gargoyle
fails.
rolls 10 total.
okay, so both of them fail. So whoever fails is pushed 10 feet away from the direction of me.
Into a pillar.
Into a...
Ow. You're Ow.
Unfortunately.
Ah.
And they take 14 damage.
Jesus Christ.
Force damage, is it?
You almost killed me with that one blow.
Thunder damage, actually.
Thunder damage. Okay.
I was literally like full health, and now I'm not.
I'm so tempted to start singing AC/DC.
If you succeed, you aren't pushed, and you take 7 damage, half damage.
Incredibly rude.
Thunderstruck, and
I realized now that if I had stepped 1 square to the left or 1 square to the right, it would have been okay. Unfortunate.
Well, these things happen.
Yeah, that's hindsight.
Okay, so you kind of clap your hands together, and this kind of electricity and lightning kind of arcs across the ground, and you can see it kind of shoves back with kind of this gust of air the form of this woman. She's exposed more to the sunlight now, and then this gargoyle's kind of flung further down the stairs, and then Kosh, you're flung back into a pillar, but it kind of stops you. But I would say you take 2 points of
Sorry.
bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
And kind of smashed into the
We're
pillar.
cutting it so
Sorry.
close.
You said my name right for once.
Yeah, I've been saying it right this whole episode. I've been making sure. I've been sure of it this time.
You
It's
have yet to
unconscious.
say it right. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it for me. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Kosh.
Okay, I will. Oh man. Oh man. Doing so bad now. I guess I will use my action to reach into my pouch and pull out another like thin vial of that kind of viscousy, like
All right.
shock white liquid, and I will take a swig of that. Let me roll for that real quick. So, okay, that's 6. And then my bonus action, I will go ahead and reload. I think I'll actually stay where I am. Yeah, why not? I'll stay where I am.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Reg.
Alright. I'm just going to take a stab at the guy in front of me.
Okay, go ahead.
That is that's a 21 to hit. No, sorry, it's not. It's my rapier. It's a 19 to hit.
And that hits.
Okay. That is 8 points of piercing and another 6 from the Hunter's Mark.
Okay, so as you swing back and stab right through, this time you pierce straight through the robes, and you just kind of feel it give way, and the smoke just kind of dissipates, and the robes just kind of crumple onto the floor. And it seems to be the end of him.
Got it. And how far can I move? Let's have a look. Oh, I get to move 30 feet now because I'm so squat and nimble. This is just like a carpet, right? This isn't a table.
Yes, just a rug.
Yeah, I'll just run up 30 feet and be next to Razek. So, well, I guess I'd be like, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yep. And with Nibbles, he also gets to move. Oh, just hang on. Let me check Nibbles' movement. I know it's further than a normal person.
I believe it's 40 feet.
I think it might be 40 feet. Yeah. Sorry, I should know this.
A good boy.
Yes, he gets to move 40 feet. So where can he make it to? He can make it. Oh, he can make it to her. Hey, good boy. Alright, he's gonna run up there and attack the ghost lady.
Okay, go ahead.
For a for 7 to hit. So I'm gonna assume that hits, and for damage,
that does not hit.
Alright, that is the end of my. Oh, can I do something as Reg that I forgot to do?
Sure.
I'll use my... Oh no, I can only do it on subsequent turns. I can't anyway, sorry. I was going to change my Hunter's Mark, but I can actually only do that on the subsequent turn. So never mind.
Okay, alright. Azaries.
Cool. I want to get rid of this guy in front of me here, so I'm going to attack recklessly again.
Okay.
This. Wait, where's my touchy thingy? This one.
Yep, that's fine, yep.
Reckless attack. Alright, so my roll, when I have advantage, I added to that. Right. 17, 23.
Yeah, that hits. If you want to, you have advantage to roll the second one as well.
And 18.
18. Okay, yeah, both hit. So you knock
Both
him
hit.
prone with
Alright.
fell-handed.
Okay, and then my axe. Oh, that's a D8. Come here. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 6. So 6 damage plus the Divine Fury. 9 in total. I rolled 2 1s in a row. Good job.
Okay, so you swing your hammer, overhead, and just again crash it down to the back of this creature, and it scores kind of another deep mark into it. But as you do, it kind of flares this radiant light that seems to kind of shock it and break it apart. And you can see it's looking, I wouldn't say near death because it's made of stone, but its form is sort of crumbling and falling apart, and it doesn't look near the pristine craftsmanship which it once did before.
All right.
But does that end your turn?
Yeah, that does.
Okay.
Kill this
All right.
thing.
So first things first, the Ghost Woman is going to kind of swing. Well, so you. Let me.
Think like a woman, Craig.
Yeah. this is hard.
Although
Think
I've
like
been-
a terrifying undead woman. Come on.
Okay. Okay. All of a sudden, with surprising speed, she just kind of essentially launches herself into the air above Nibbles and flies straight over him, and then lands down next to Kosh. She's still in this direct sunlight, though, but she's going to. I think. Let me just double check, because I don't think when they fly, you get an opportunity to attack.
Not if they're... Well, it's when they leave melee range, so I think Nibbles would.
He can jump. He's a good boy.
It's when they leave your melee range, and I assume that applies to up as well.
Yeah, it would kind of make sense for it too. So yeah, if you want to, if
Alright.
red, well, if
It's just
Nibbles
nibbles.
liked-
Also, while you're doing that, can I invoke spore damage on her for this
Sure.
round of combat?
Sure. Okay, so she rolls a 9 on her save.
Hey, I get to roll these dice for once. 4. Oh no. Necrotic damage. Oh boy.
Uh,
All
again-
of her wounds heal.
All of her
You
wounds
see
heal,
more
yeah.
of these spores kind of float around her, and they just pass straight through her form. Nothing
Yikes.
happens from it. But sorry, Nibbles. What did he?
Yeah,
what
that
did
that was a 1. So
Okay.
yeah.
he misses, unfortunately. The ghost wound lands next to you, Kosh, and she just kind of reaches out and tries to grab onto you with both her hands. And that's a. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a 22.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh. I like when the DM laughs.
You take 14 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to
God.
make DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
No, wait. It's a saving throw?
Yes.
I'm proficient in Constitution for some reason, so I threw a natural 13 plus 2, 15.
Nice.
I thought I was screwed with the 0 con mod. Well, I didn't die instantly, so this is that.
How much health do you have?
Oh no, I'm down.
Oh,
You're
it's
dead.
necrotic, so
I-
you're dead. Necrotic
Yeah,
damage instant kills, right?
I'm pretty sure,
Not
unless
that I
I
know of.
check it.
I think he's right.
I hate to be
What?
that guy, but
I think he's right actually. When necrotic drops you to 0, you die instantly.
Oh boy.
What the?
Like I was gonna shield, but she threw a 22. Like my AC's even with a +5, it wouldn't have been enough.
I'm not
Wow.
sure. Like, obviously check this, but
I'm almost 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is as well.
Oh my
I
god,
don't know. I would check this pretty heavily before.
Yeah, but like I have no HP.
I don't see that being a thing.
Every time Lorin leaves, this happens.
Oh my god.
I think it's only on certain necrotic spells, actually. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let me check. I think it might only be certain spells.
Okay, it might be like decaying touch and like those spells
Yeah.
specifically. It
I
might
think some
not
of
be all
them- I
necrotic.
think some of them do say specifically if you.
Okay.
Okay,
okay.
so maybe we're just
Maybe
confusing
Locken
it.
doesn't immediately disintegrate.
Hashtag not all necrotic
I'm
damage.
getting the book out. We're
Page
getting-
Yeah.
196, go.
Wait, is that real?
Chat's helping.
Chance helping, are they? Let's double check it just to make sure. I don't have my book handy.
I'm sorry, Kosh.
Yeah, that's the game, right? Sometimes you get thunder waved for 18 damage
I mean,
by
this is just damage types. Yeah, it doesn't specifically state it, I don't think.
Okay.
I think it's only certain spells. I think it's like a thing that necrotic does quite often, but I think it's only certain spells.
Yes.
Okay.
There's nothing. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Kosh, you are down, but not dead.
But not dead.
Yes. Because I will say this does have a instant death clause in the attack. It didn't happen there. Okay.
Oof.
So the the spirit next to your right, Reg, just kind of floats towards you and is going to take a swing at you or try and grasp onto you with its hands, but it rolls an 8 total.
That unsurprisingly does not hit me.
Okay. The gargoyle on its hands and knees in front of you, as Ares, is going to use his movement to stand back up
Okay.
and then take a swing, and I'll minus 1d4 for it, so that's 18 total right now, down to 16.
Barely, yes.
So that does hit.
Yeah.
Okay. You take 6 points of piercing damage as it
Okay.
sinks its teeth into your forearm. Then it's going to try and swing at you with its claws, which is a 23 total. Well, minus 1d4 brings it down to 19.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. You take.
So he gets to hit me twice?
Yeah, he gets 2 attacks. You
That
take
sucks.
3 points of slashing damage as it kind of scrapes
Meh.
across you.
Sure. It's fine. I have the hit points to spare. I'm gonna smush your head in next turn. Little
Can you
asshole.
smush a gargoyle head?
Ah, you can.
Okay.
There can be a smush.
I feel like they've got a dense noggin.
A dense noggin. Okay. So the gargoyle that was kind of shoved back by Razix's Thunderwave is going to move towards you, Vikaru, and first of all try and take a bite at you. So that's a 16 total.
That hits.
Okay, so that's 4 points of piercing damage as it bites onto you. And then it's going to take a swipe at you with its claws, but that's a nat 1. So I assume that misses. Well, always misses. Okay, Vikaru.
All right, I will twin cast Healing Word.
Okay.
I think I have to do one sorcerer point. Yeah, on Aseres and Kosh. Well, I guess yeah, because that's not a thing. Yeah, okay. So they each gain plus my spellcasting ability mod. So they each gain 7 hit points.
Okay.
Is it temporary or?
No, it's you just regain 7 hit points.
Okay, so Kosh, you are back up.
And since for some reason Healing Word is a bonus action, I'm going to cast Toll. Oh wait, no, Toll the Dead does not do well. That's awkward.
I'm in the same boat.
All my spells deal. All right, looks like I'm gonna hit somebody.
Who would you like to hit? There's the gargoyle next to you.
I guess I'm gonna slide out one of the daggers from my cloak and stab the gargoyle next to me.
Okay, you can certainly try.
16.
16 hits. Oh, here we go.
Deals 4 total damage.
Okay, so you jab your dagger just underneath the jaw of the creature, and it kind of you scour a deep gouge into the head of the creature, but it's just in the ground. So it's a large creature. It doesn't leave a deep mark on it. So anything else?
Nope.
Okay, Razix.
Cool. I'm going to angrily run this way.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and just take a big swing with my giant imbued magical shillelagh mace.
Okay, go ahead.
I rolled a 15.
That hits.
Sweet. D8. I rolled. Yeah, I love rolling ones for damage today. I rolled 4 total.
Okay. And what type of damage is it? Is it just bludgeoning?
It's bludgeoning, but my weapon is magical.
Okay. So yeah, you swing back and it does connect and quite solidly as well, but it's just a poor hit. It just kind of scrapes across her shoulder, and she kind of loses more of her form, starts to dissipate, but that's about it. All right. Gosh. Or sorry, anything else, Razix?
No.
Nope. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless I can hear it.
As I'm kind of like laying on the ground coming to, I'm going to go ahead and recast Zephyr Strike on myself because I did drop when I went down.
Yep. Okay.
So I'll kind of, and I'll sort of feel everything sort of come back into focus again. And I will go ahead and stand up, taking half of my movement.
Sure.
I will then go ahead and actually use my Zephyr Strike this turn. So my walking speed increases by 30 feet. So I still have 45 feet of movement.
Uh-huh.
So I'm actually going to run. This thing is like dead, right? It's not like doing
It's
anything.
just a pile of robes.
Oh, I gave that the stab. Don't worry.
I'm gonna run, and my movement doesn't take any opportunity attacks. I'm gonna run right over here with Mr. Nibbles. Mr. Nibbles, give him a curt nod.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and aim back at the Banshee Lady.
Okay.
I have advantage on this because of the Zephyr Strike. 23.
That hits.
Okay, she takes She takes 8 points of piercing damage, and then I believe the Zephyr Strike is force damage.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. So how much piercing damage is it?
8 piercing damage, and then 8 force damage.
Okay.
And then that is my turn.
Okay. So you raise your gauntlet and fire off a shot, and you can see it kind of passes through, and more of her form starts to kind of fall off, and she isn't looking quite as put together as she was once before. Other than obviously being like a decaying, ghostly body. Like the parts of her form are starting to drift off. Reg.
Right. I'm gonna look at the ghost name. Right. She's controlling them. I'm gonna charge her with my sword. I assume I might take an opportunity attack.
You'd assume correctly, yeah. I think he is going to use his reaction to do that. Okay, that's a 18 total.
18 just hits me.
Just hits. Okay, you take...
Because I have 16 AC.
You take 3 points of necrotic damage as its as its arm kind of just clamps onto your shoulder as you shrug it off and pull away, but you feel this kind of burning cold along your arm.
Alright. Yeah, I'm going to start with my rapier.
Okay.
For a 20 overall, but a 14 on the roll.
Okay. That hits.
For 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, so you just kind of swing back your sword and stab it straight through her form, and you can see more of it breaks apart as usual, but some of it just starts to re-knit itself together.
Okay. Alright, yeah, I'll end my turn then.
Okay.
Nibbles will... I'll send him after the ghost guy. He'll run over here. Back the ghost. For a natural 20. There we go.
Ooh, good boy.
Nice.
That's a natural 20 on the attack. So this is going to be 4d4. We got my d4s out. That is 6 and 3, so 9 plus 5. That's 14 points of piercing damage.
14 points. Okay, so let me just double check. Okay, yeah, so Mr. Nibbles just kind of leaps forward and just grabs onto the arm of the robe and kind of shakes it apart, and you can hear the sound of ripping cloth as essentially the whole arm of the robe is kind of torn off and more of this kind of black smoke begins to spill out, but it's still standing, or well, floating.
Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Azares.
I want to get the lady. I want to kill this
certainly
lady.
can try and kill the lady if you'd like.
Nah, this dude's pissing me off. I'm going to kill this guy beneath me, hopefully. Reckless attack again.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not great. 6, 7, 13, and 15.
Okay, the 15 hits.
All right,
it's
so
again
I can't knock him prone, but I can hit him, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the second
can-
one also has to hit.
Yes, that's correct. So you just want to roll damage.
Yeah. 4, it's 4d8. Oh, goody. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Plus the 1d6. 13, 18, 19, 20.
Sorry, how many points of radiant damage was it total?
What did I roll? Shit. I can't remember what I rolled. How much did I say in total?
20 total, and then what was it, 13?
Yeah, so it was 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
7, yeah, plus
Okay,
my barbarian.
So you
Yay!
swing back, and again you just swing your axe and just crack it down onto its neck essentially, and the entire head just kind of cracks off and breaks and splits apart, and the whole body just collapses into this dust and rubble, and it just falls apart. And yeah,
Good.
All right. Anything else?
I will get up in this lady's face.
Okay.
That'll be me.
Okay. All right. First things first. Okay. Red, she is going to try and grasp onto you, so she raises both her arms and tries to grab you by the shoulders here.
Alright. I now realize that melee fighting this thing is probably not a good idea.
Okay. That's a 1 second. 24 total.
That will hit me, yes.
Bloody hell. Ow.
So first of all, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I'm +3 for that. That would be a 6.
Okay.
Nice, dude. Greg's gonna kill us all and turn us all into banshees. New campaign.
Evil campaign, let's go.
Yeah.
Who can screech the loudest?
Sorry, maths. You take 21 points of necrotic damage,
Okay.
and your maximum is
Ow.
reduced by an amount equal to that damage. So you lose 21 max HP until you finish a long rest.
Okay.
And how much health does that drop you down to?
8?
Okay.
Yikes. I'm glad you're still alive.
Holy shit.
I'm glad Justin's not dead, or we'd all be dead by this point, I think.
Justin, help!
Well, his max HP's dropped. I can't do anything about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, fuck his max HP. Keep us alive.
All right.
We're dying.
The spirit next to Mr. Nibbles is going to, again, he's also going to try and reach out and grab his hands around the nape of his neck. But that's
And doggy.
that's an 11 total.
11 does not hit. No.
Okay. And then the gargoyle. All right, he's just going to move down there, and then he's still going to come after you, Vicarious. So first of all, with his bite, he's going to try and chomp you. That's 15 total.
Ties go to him, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a tie, so
Okay.
I got hit.
You take 4 points of piercing damage,
4. Okay.
and it's now going to swing at you with its club. That's a 5 total. So I
Okay,
assume
that misses.
Okay. Yeah, that ends their turn. All right. You're up, Vicarious.
All right, first things first. Recasting Bane, since the only target that got hit by it is now dead.
Okay.
Wait, can I actually get that fudger? That's 30? Heck yeah, I can. All right.
All
So
right,
all
so-
3 of these losers.
All right. So first of all, the ghostly woman, she rolls a. Sorry, what save was it?
It is a charisma save.
Charisma save. Okay, that's a 21 total.
All right, well, she saves.
He sounded so upset there. Well, the spirit next to Mr. Nibbles makes a 9 total, so I assume that's a fail. I'll give him the eye. And then the gargoyle next to you, that's an 11 total.
Fails.
Okay, and I'll give him the eye as well.
All right, and since spiritual weapon is a bonus action, I'm going to go and move it over here. And I'm going to attack the stupid lady with it. Because
Okay,
it's
go
force
ahead.
damage, not necrotic. This should be on 4. There we go.
This would be the perfect time for me to cast Thunder Wave.
That is 20 total.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Good. She needs to die. That would be 11 damage total.
Okay.
It's quite symbolic that we've made a cross on the battlefield.
Wow.
That's funny.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So the Oars of Sun swings back, and it fully connects with her. You see her form kind of break apart, and more of her starts to fall and cool away, and she's looking quite low, I would say.
Sweet. That is all I shall do.
Okay, Razix.
I'm going to take another swing. Because nothing else seems to work.
Shit out of this banshee just with his club until she goes down.
Yeah.
I rolled an 11?
That does not hit, I'm afraid.
Damn!
Who needs damage diversification?
The problem is I can't even do anything with my fire. You guys are all too clumped. I'll just Razix us.
Yikes. I can't do anything else.
Dude,
I
you can move.
I can move, but I don't really need to.
Gotta give Cash a clean shot.
Yeah, but then she
I didn't
gets
need that way.
an opportunity.
Oh no,
No,
don't worry about giving me a clean shot. I can't.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just gonna stay here.
Okay,
I'm done.
gosh.
I will recast Zephyr Strike on myself using my final spell slot
Okay,
and kind of feel everything slow down again as I start to move. And I will move all the way over here so I can get a better line of sight on her. And I
Okay.
will go ahead and shoot her.
sure. I would say you're at an angle, and I don't know you're like faffing around with kind of moving and positioning. So yeah, she doesn't
Okay.
benefit from any cover or anything like that. So go right ahead.
She's floating too.
Yeah, she is floating.
Okay. Well, that's a nat 1, but I do have advantage, so please God.
Nat 2.
Natural 7, so probably not. That is a 14 to hit.
No, I'm afraid not.
Yep. All right. I shoot wide. Too razzled from that going down earlier.
Sure.
Fire
Alright.
it off into like a pew.
Reg, what would you like to do?
I'm going to recoil from my mortal wounding, and oh god, what do I want to do? Do I stay in melee with the thing that's going to kill me, or do I run away,
Please take a health potion.
which hits me?
All about that dodge action.
Yeah. Disengage! Disengage!
Or we're all just gonna dodge forever and
No,
just hope
I'm
she
going to
can't-
melee and try to kill it. That's my plan. I'm going to attack it.
Okay,
All right.
go ahead.
That is 13 to hit. No, sorry, no, it's not. It's a 14 to hit. I can't count.
That hits.
All right. That is. Wow, that's a 1. Great.
Wait,
That's 5 points of
oh,
piercing damage.
Did 14 just hit for Reg?
Yes. Did you
Wait,
roll
did-
14 last time?
Because I rolled a 14
Oh, I thought you said you rolled a 7 plus 4.
plus 7.
Oh,
14.
my bad.
Yeah, maybe we had a miscommunication.
Okay, sorry, I must have misheard you. Yeah, then so sorry, Kosh, you want to roll damage as well, and Reg, you can also.
I rolled a 1, so mine's only 5 points of piercing.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So it's 9 points of piercing damage for me,
Okay.
and then for the force damage, it's another 8.
Okay. So, and Reg, what did you roll on damage?
5?
5 total. Okay. So,
I'm a
Almost-
big boy.
Reg and I Wonders twins with our powers combined.
yeah, so almost simultaneously, Reg, as you kind of stab your sword through her form, and Kosh, as you fire off a shot, they just kind of pass through her together at the same time, and again, more of her form falls off and hits the ground, but she is just still floating there.
Oh my god, we're all dead.
All right. With my bonus action, I will drink a potion.
Okay.
Yay!
I have a healing potion in my inventory. It is just a 2d4 one though. So, 2d4 plus 2. Don't fail me now. That is yikes. That's what that is. That is 5 points of healing.
Ooh,
Okay,
a 2
yeah,
and a
Reg,
1.
you quickly scarf down a healing potion, and well, not scarf. You don't eat it. You drink. Crunch through the
Yeah,
glass.
bite through the glass. Mm.
This is
Okay.
what happens when we don't eat breakfast in the morning. Reg just starts eating health potions.
Okay.
That's why breakfast is the most important meal. Don't eat glass.
Okay, Mr. Nibbles.
Nibbles will. Yeah, he'll just attack the boy in front of him once again.
Okay, go ahead.
And he will do that for 15 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Whoops. That is. Oh, wow, okay. I'm rolling so well right now. For Nibbles. That's 8 points of damage. Sorry, I had to check.
8
That's my proficiencies at 8.
Okay. So, as Nibbles just kind of bites again onto kind of just the center mass, essentially, of the spirit, he tears more of the robes apart, and more of this form disappears, and the robes just crumple down to the ground.
Good boy.
Good boy. Best boy.
All right. Anything else for Mr. Nibs?
He can come in and join the party on the flying
Okay.
ghost.
Okay. Azaries.
Reckless attacking this
Okay.
flying wench. That is a 22 plus a 12.
Okay, that hits.
All right, so first one hits. I can't knock her prone, but I am swinging at her face with my one-handed battle axe friend. Wait, what? What am I doing? Yes, that's the one. 8, 9. So that's 9, and then the divine fury damage. 6. So 15 in total.
Okay, so you swing your battle axe through her form, and as it does, it glows this radiant light, and you see her form break apart and shatter, and you hear this unearthly screech as her form starts to dissipate and pull apart before all of a sudden it suddenly comes back together. And she just kind of screeches out, and she's not dead yet, I'm afraid.
How does she look? Does she look like she's feeling
well, she already
great,
looked
or-
pretty fucking angry before, but now she is just
Now she's even more
yelling,
cross.
Son of a.
her form almost seems to be falling apart as she is saying. It looks like she's
Okay.
about to collapse. Okay.
Ella.
Oh my god.
Anything
She
else?
still
Sarah?
gets to go.
I can't knock her away with hammering horns or anything,
Not
so
when
I'm
she
just
slurs or anything.
I'm just gonna kind of sit there and growl at her.
Okay. Let me just check something.
And we're all surrounded her. We're all gonna die.
I mean,
Shit.
what if she uses the spell again? What if she just 21's Reg?
Then I die.
She is gonna go. Whoops. She is gonna go for Reg because Reg is obviously quite obviously the.
I'm
one who's
pretty
already-
destroyed right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not looking great.
Okay.
Not like this.
All right.
Not Reg.
Okay, Reg. That's a 19 total.
That does hit me.
Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure you don't want a dexterity saving throw? I'm way better at those. Alright,
Fucking hell, even I'm
Constitution.
nervous on this.
That's a 10.
That's a fail, I'm afraid. And she rolls a total of 18 necrotic damage. Would you drop to 0 hit points?
Yep.
I'm afraid Reg dies instantly. As she clamps both her ghostly arms onto Reg's shoulders, you see the life force drain from him, and Reg's skin begins to turn grey, and he dries out and shrivels and almost turns to dust as he drops down. And then the gargoyle is going to take a bite out of you, Vicari. That's a nat 1, and then a nat 2. So fucking missed both.
Now
that-
you roll a 1 and a 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Vicari?
Well, that's awkward. Gonna go ahead and hit Ghost Lady with the power of the Oars off.
Okay.
Math is hard. 15.
Sorry. That hits.
That is a D8 plus spell mod. That is 10 damage.
Yeah, that does it. Essentially any damage would have done it, I will say. So yeah, as the Orzhov sun just swings back again and crashes straight into her form breaks apart completely this time, and you see her this kind of central object inside her, this kind of small wisp of light, kind of rise up into the air, and then it suddenly flutters down very quickly into the staircase that leads down into what you would assume beneath the church below you. And as that happens as well, the gargoyle next to you, Vicaro, just suddenly crumbles apart and falls to dust, seemingly dying as well. And she has essentially gone now, but you've seen her screech out and go down the staircase. And that's where we'll end it for tonight. And we'll reconvene with the party after and see what happens next week. But yeah, that's tonight's show, everyone. Everyone had fun. It's okay though. People die in D&D.
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
sure.
They die. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Nobody
It's fine.
is
I mean,
mortal.
we lost Darrow episode 2, and now Connor gets to make a new character. So
I
we'll
did.
get-
I did choose to melee fight a banshee, which is probably not my wisest decision as a
I will say
ranger.
that wasn't a banshee, and it was similar to a wraith, but it's kind of a mix between the two. So it had a few things from a couple, because there's a lot of different ghosts in 5e that are kind of cool, and each have a different cool thing.
Ooh.
So a little bit of a character. But I guess not to be too powerful. But yeah,
No, but people die. People die. People
Yeah.
die. And
I
That's
hope everyone
what
enjoyed
happens.
watching that. It was a lot of fun.
No.
And yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe. See Connor, look, I'm helping you out.
yeah, you
And,
fucking
yeah.
better.
We'll see you all next week. All right, bye everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, God.